It's never too late to become better. The Arkansas Senior Olympics, presented by UAMS, invites men and women aged 40 and older to compete in the 3-on-3 half-court basketball tournament April 25th in Benton. This event qualifies teams for the 2027 National Games in Tulsa. The deadline to register is April 11th. Team fee is $250 for up to 10 players or 9 players and a coach. Volunteers and sponsors are also needed. Learn more and register at arseniorolympics.org.
Arkansas, stop paying full retail prices. Head to Natural State Wholesale, the warehouse, where prices and customer service can't be beat, where inventory is stocked and ready to be loaded. Find us at 2011 North 2nd Street in Cabot. Waterproof vinyl starting at just $129 a square foot. Tile deals all day, every day for under $1 a square foot. Waterproof hardwood around $2 a square foot. Need more? Exterior pavers and stone, butcher block countertops, roofing shingles, faucets, you name it, we've got it. Natural State Wholesale, the warehouse, built to save you money.
Oaklan Sports presents Oaklan Game Day. It's an inside look at the week's biggest games, exciting prop bets, and the latest betting lines from Oaklan Sportsbook. Justin Acree and Oaklan's Vice President of Racing and Wagering, Zach Gillum, give you all the information you need to place your bets in Oaklan. Catch it on The Buzz Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and again Thursday mornings at 5:30 before Morning Mayhem. Oaklan Game Day on your fun and game station, 103.7 The Buzz.
Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz.
But now I'm counting this. Parmesan with my accountant lips. In fact, I'm down in this. You say with my boo babe tastes like Kool-Aid for the analyst. Girl, I can buy your Westie world with my base stuff. I know that it's good. Won't you sit it on my taste buds? I get way too petty once you let me do the extras. Pull up on your block and break it down. We playing Tetris. AM to the PM, PM to the AM phone. Eat up your per diem. You just gotta hate them phone. If I quit your BM, I still rock Mercedes funk. If I quit this season, I still be the greatest funk. My left stroke just went viral.
What's going on? Wes Moore with you, Joe Franklin. It is Out of Bounds. You know, normally on a Monday I'll play some basketball highlights, and I pulled up page, Joe, and I was just like, yeah, you know what? I don't feel like playing any basketball highlights. I don't know if there were any basketball highlights. Well, maybe from Billy Richmond. He had some highlights. That was about it. It was very disappointing. I'll say that. We had a great crowd at Walk-On Saturday night. A little buzz in the building, you know. We were thinking maybe something magical will happen. And Arkansas, you know, was actually winning by we kind of forget, but Arkansas was winning this game. Had a 5-point lead. Then Florida went on a run, and I think it turned into a 20-4 run, and it was over. It was lights out, and our crowd dissipated very quickly. In fact, a lot of people left at halftime, and I wish I could have left at halftime.
Oh, that's no good.
Yeah. No, that was a rough one. I'll say this: Florida's really, really good. I'm now. Well, I've been sold on Florida for a couple weeks now, but their guard play has gotten a lot better. And look, that was and fans were upset with the front line, and as you should. I mean, but we knew that. We knew Florida's big guys were going to outplay Arkansas's big guys. We just knew that was going to happen. What had to happen for Arkansas to win is for Arkansas's guards to outplay Florida's guards. And they didn't. In fact, it wasn't even. Florida's guards outplayed Arkansas's guards. And that's how you get a 34-point loss. I thought Florida's guards were spectacular in this game. They shot the ball well. They got to the basket. They finished. Arkansas's guards did not finish at the basket. And that's why you see the numbers put up by the two freshmen. Darius Acuff, 6 for 19. And Malik Thomas, he was 5 of 13. Combined, those two guys went 11 for 32. That's right around 33%. And a lot of those were layups they missed. The big guys for Florida really impacted the game, impacted those guards when they weren't taking it strong to the basket. They were going to and doing almost like you talk about fadeaway jumpers, and they were doing fadeaway layups, and they weren't even getting to the rim. They were like trying to shoot layups from 4 feet out, And they just kept missing them time after time after time. And the one reason Billy Richmond was successful, he was going to the rim, attacking the rim, and going to the basket and making his layup.
He has the body, he has the frame to be able to deal with some of that contact, and some of those guys are going to give him on the inside. Not that the guards don't, but Billy has more of a body to play that inside-out game. And it is a game that got away from Florida, solidified them. That team as best team in the conference. It's been looking like that for a while now since Texas A&M kind of took a step back. Florida has looked like the best team, and they showed it once again. They did it to Alabama, and now they've done it to Arkansas, where I think they beat Bama by 23. They beat Arkansas by 34. So these are some of the top teams in the conference, and Florida's able to get by them with ease and just impose their will and their dominance.
You're starting to see some respect nationally for Florida. They're up to number 5 this week in the poll, in the rankings. Lenardi has them number 5, right there with UConn. UConn 4, Florida 5. So Florida, with a couple more wins in the SEC tournament, they have a shot to be a number 1 seed. So, there were some fans freaking out after the game, and I get it. Florida is one of the best teams in the country, and hopefully you won't have to play a team like that until the 3rd or 4th round of the NCAA tournament. Arkansas did not move on Lenardi's bracket. They are still sitting there at number 17, the first overall number 5 seed. They did not move in the rankings, still number 20 in the rankings. So Arkansas did not, even though it was ugly, they're not taking a beating in the public opinion nationally from some of the guys who do the voting and look at the bracketology. So
that just shows a respect for Florida, though. They know how good Florida is, and so even though they lost what looked like an embarrassing game, embarrassing fashion, it's no embarrassment to lose to that team in Florida.
And you got to consider that crowd and how tough it is. I think Arkansas entered one for their last 12 playing in Gainesville. And that crowd was spectacular Saturday night. They were loud. You had game day there, so they were amped up and they were ready to roll. And they got their team ready, and they did. They rolled. Joe Klein's going to be in the studio. We'll talk more Razorback basketball with him at 1:30 today. I want to talk some Razorback baseball. I want to talk Combine. Joe, I caught myself Saturday, just got sucked in on the Combine, and then when Mike Washington ran, I was done. I was like sold. I'm watching this all day. Then Taylor Green, watched him run and watch him perform. All right, here's a question. Who had the better day? Mike Washington or Taylor Green?
Oh, Taylor by far. Taylor, because it was everything. Broad jump, vert, speed in the 40. It's everything.
See, I would argue Mike did because he was number 2 in, the broad jump?
Okay, So if we're talking about just who helped themselves more, it's Mike Washington. Taylor is not going to move up to be like second quarterback picked or third quarterback. So who helped themselves more is Mike Washington. Who had a better day, it was Taylor Green. Two different things.
Yeah. I did hear talk of Mike Washington becoming running back number 2. I did read talk of Taylor Green becoming quarterback number 3. That would be an impressive jump.
It'd be really impressive because right now they have him anywhere from 8 to 10.
I think didn't they at the NFL Network have him 6?
They may have had him that high. I saw everything I saw. Most people had him somewhere between 8 and 10.
I think both made some money Saturday, and you saw it in Mike Washington's reaction afterwards. I mean, the dude literally ran a little circle, took the high fives, went and sat down, and started crying. And my daughter was like, "Why is he crying?" I was like, and I explained it to her, and so it made sense. But man, you think of everything he had poured into that moment. All the practice and all the workouts and the training, and for him to deliver a 4.33 that ties Darren McFadden on that list, I thought that was pretty cool to show the fastest all time for a running back. Now 2 Razorbacks are right there in the top 10. That was pretty cool. I was thinking, man, I hope he can run like a 4.39. I hope he's gets under 4.4 was what I was thinking. And when I saw 4.33, I was like, oh, good Lord. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
you're flirting with
huge.
4.2 there. flirting with under 4.3, 4.2. That's really impressive because that puts you in elite company when you're talking 4.2. But to run a low 4.3, it's really impressive.
When I saw him on the phone, I was like, I bet he's got to be talking to his agent, And I think both the players were on the phone with their agent after they got done running the 40, and Talon was like, one and done. That's it. That's all I need.
There's no need to run a second one.
And I was just hoping he would, decrease the time and get even further down. But I get it. I mean, that was he knocked out his goal. So let's go. Let's move on.
On Talon's interview, he said his key was getting off fast. He said he knew he'd be able to finish strong, but he just wanted to get off the block and get out fast. And he said he thought he was able to accomplish that.
That's what the guys were saying live. They're like, "Ooh, that was a good start. Oh, watch this, bam, another big time." Yeah, Mike Washington. I wish he would have done some of the drills afterwards, but I get it. After all that emotion just comes out of your body, the focus is gone. Probably made the right decision. I was just, as a fan, I was wanting to see him do some more and run some of the drills and just see what he was able to do. But I get it. But this guy, both guys, made some money, and it doesn't matter if he goes from if he was projected as a 4th-round pick and now becomes a 2nd-round pick, dude. Made some money. Both of them went up, had to increase their value. I saw where Mike Washington now projected to be, if he is running back 2, like some were saying, one of the first, some early in the 2nd round is what they were saying. And for Talon, he could be late day 2, early day 3, meaning 3rd, 4th round.
Pro Day will be big for these guys because now it opens some eyes and it makes scouts that may not have shown up to go see those two. Now it makes teams more interested, and certain scouts, certain team execs want to go see what more they can do. How does Talon throw? How does Mike Washington run routes? Is he able to catch the ball out of backfield? So that they'll be more interested in some of those things overall.
I think I saw a tweet over the weekend because somebody was questioning his hands or, what would he be like coming out of the backfield? I think the tweet said he had the highest yards per catch of all running backs this year. Now, he didn't have a whole lot. I'll look up the stats. But his yards per catch was, at least in this graphic they put up, was the top. And it was a lot of, name running backs that you recognize.
The difference could be, though, these guys catching short passes and trying to work from there. And we know that Bobby Petrino likes to run those wheel routes. Mm-hmm. And so on wheel routes, running backs are going to get a lot of yards because you're throwing the ball downfield.
I had a former high school football coach hit me up on Twitter. It's like, why didn't Mike Washington get more carries? Should they have used him more? You look at that performance, that speed. Should Mike Washington been getting 20 carries a game? He was getting, probably around – I bet he averaged around 15 carries per game. But you think with a little bit more production, who knows? Maybe there would have been a little bit of talk. With his size, man, you could just tell when they were running. He was one of the bigger running backs. That frame was very impressive. But Mike Washington, Talon Green, Saturday was fun. It was a good day for the Razerbacks to see, and I know it popped up all over my Twitter feed. How in the hell was this team 2-10? When you look at some of the performances, because they were talking good about after we got off the air, Neal, the cornerback, because they love his size, and one of the guys on the NFL Network was like, you know what? I go to him and I say, can you be a safety? How about playing safety with your size and that speed and the way your physicalness? You could be an NFL safety right now.
Takes more than 3 players. That's the answer. And you're talking 2 on offense and 1 on defense that they were raving about. But no, they had much more than that. But it's about the team overall.
Fernando had a good day yesterday. I did not watch yesterday, but I just did a Google search, not a Google search. I did a search on Twitter, and every tweet that I found with his name mentioned was all positive. There was not one negative thing said about Fernando on Twitter. It was just the cone drill. I believe he did really well. Rated in his group as one of the best offensive linemen in that little speed quickness drill. 40. I can't remember. I think he ran like a 5.4. That dude was trying hard. When we get back on, we're going to give him a hard time. Man, that guy was putting it in.
Well, the advantage that he has is some of these players they look at that have played tackle, and they were playing tackle at the end of their college careers, and they're looking at these players to kick inside and play guard. Fernando has already done that, so that's an advantage, and a leg up that he has is he's already made that position change. He's not going to be making the position change on the next level, so they're already looking at him as a guard in the position that he's going to play.
They actually had him and 3 others snap the ball, worked him out at center too. So he got the opportunity. He knew that was a possibility, and he's been practicing working at center and snapping the ball. But I noticed in one of the comments that 4 of the guys, I think it was 4 of the guys, Fernando and 3 others, were asked to stick around after their drills to do some center drills and to work with some of the centers that were there.
Other thing about Fernando is he could not only realize his dream of becoming an NFL player, maybe he gets that ultimate dream of becoming a Raider because they have a big need for offensive line help. And that is a long shot, but just the fact that there's a need on their offensive line and that's where he plays, it could happen.
All right, let's take some phone calls. 661-1037 if you would like to jump in here and join us. That is, of course, the same number to the Middleton Heat and Air text line, 661-1037. Let's start it out with Rick. What's up, Rick?
Hey, I've been a great time listening to you. Okay, I want to be more realistic. It's going to be 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th rounds for all the Razerbacks you're talking about. But that's okay because they didn't come from a winner. But they may be great, but they didn't come from a winning program last couple of years, or at least 1 year. Hey, that's what I got to say. They 4th, 5th, and 6th, maybe 7th for all of them. But they're great kids.
Yeah, do not put any money on that, Rick, because I'm afraid you're going to lose it. Because I can pretty much guarantee you Mike Washington's going to go a little ahead of that projection. I think Talon goes ahead of that. I think 4 guys get drafted. I think Carmona's going to get drafted. Now, he could be where you're talking about, 5th, 6th, 7th round. Same with Neal, 5th, 6th, 7th round. I don't know about Xavier Nsori or Cam Ball. I don't know if they're going to get drafted. Who did I leave out? That's did I leave somebody out? Cam Ball, Xavier Nsori, Neal, Talon, Mike Washington, and Fernando. Yeah, so probably 4. I think 4 of those guys will get drafted, but Carmona and Neal, I would say 5th, 6th, 7th. We'll get some of these draft experts on here in the next couple of days. We'll get Chris Turnage. We'll get some of Emery Hunt and get them to talk a little bit about the combine and now what they know about these guys. Oh, Rick hung up. Or did he? Yep. I didn't know he was done. There we go. Sorry. Keyboard issues. Let's go to Harley. Harley's in Morrilton. Morrilton's getting ready to host a state tournament this week. Harley, you're going to have a lot of guests coming into Morrilton this week to watch some high school basketball.
Oh, that's fine. I'll be sitting at home, avoid the traffic. Hey, I got to give kudos to Taylor and Mike. They did an excellent job. They definitely improved their draft stock a little bit. And, all of our hosts did good, really. But I've got to make a comment on this basketball game this weekend. I did not watch it. I had to get up early, and I did not want to get mad, throw a brick at the TV, because I knew they was going to lose, but I did not expect the slaughter.
Harley, you're the big winner. You're the big winner Saturday night since you didn't watch it.
Yeah, I know. I knew what was going to happen, but I didn't think it'd be that bad. I think Coach Calipari just needs to line all them guys up, get a pair of big rubber gloves, just go down through there and slap every one of them in the face for literally falling down their face there tonight. And as far as Pringle, we just need to bench him the rest of the year. And if he won't be benched, we'll just shoot him in the foot and make him be benched. That's all I'm going to say. Y'all have a good show, guys.
Thanks, Harley. Well, you can't bench him because you can't play Brazil and Ewan for all 40 minutes. You got to give those guys a break. And I'll be honest, once Pringle got benched, and I think a little message may have been sent. I thought he played better in the second half. He had a couple of rebounds where he was on Chinnilu, and he went up and got him. Pringle had a couple of I'm talking baby steps, right, for Pringle. We got to start from the scratch. But Pringle went up and got a couple of defensive rebounds in traffic, and I'm hopeful, just like DJ Wagner hitting a couple of threes in the game. I'm hoping that something positive comes out of that game, and it's DJ rediscovering his three-point shooting and Nick Pringle going, all right, I can go up and I can be physical. I can get defensive rebounds against the best front line in America, so I can do it against anybody.
Well, we know what the strength of the team is, and we know what looks like it could be a weakness. And so when conference tournament coming up, NCAA tournament, that's the matchup that they're going to be worried about is how do they match up against the opponent's front line and what their front court looks like. But guards and scoring, they feel good about that.
The good news is you probably won't have to play a front, unless you play Michigan, according to Christian. That's it. That's the only front line that's comparable to Florida's. I mean, you're going to have some good, front lines, but nothing like what you saw on Friday or Saturday night. Joey's in Little Rock. Hey, Joey, what's up?
Hey, guys. My son, he's probably going to get in trouble for this, but he's 12. He took a snapshot of his milk carton at school, says missing person from Gainesville, Nick Pringle. Did not get off the plane or something like that. I don't know. I mean, goodness gracious. What do we do? Why is he still playing this guy?
Well, you only played 11 and a half minutes, and you had to sit Brazil after Brazil threw a little temper tantrum and pushed Boogie Fland in the back. So somebody had to play down the stretch.
I mean, it's like Pringle doesn't show up at all, but then Brazil, if we play anybody that has any big men at all, it's like he is just so intimidated. It's like he can pick on the little people, but he can't size up to the people his size. Is that me, or does anybody else see the same thing?
No, I mean, when we predict Brazil to have a good game, it's because we look at who they're playing. And if they don't have anybody with some size, then all of a sudden you see Brazil being active and going in and rebounding and driving to the basket. Brazil had 3 shots. He took 3 shots.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he literally didn't even try. It's like he was not aggressive, not even on the offense. I see if he didn't rebound against them, but he didn't even try offensively, which usually, I mean, he'll at least put up some shots. But it's like he was just kind of, it was like we were playing 3-on-5 at sometimes. I mean, we're going to get beat by 30 points when, especially when Acuff didn't play. Thank goodness for Billy, we might have got beat by 50.
Yeah.
If he hadn't shown up. I mean, that's the truth. I mean, I ain't going to lie. I'm very disappointed. I know it's one game, but gosh, this just deflates me right now, guys. I mean.
Well, here's the way I look at it, Joey. Did you think Arkansas was going to win a national championship?
No.
Okay, nothing's changed.
I've thought this a couple of times, and I talked about this.
Yeah.
I feel like until he recruits a true big man and gets a true big man to go along with those guards, you can see, I mean, look at the top teams right now. Michigan, Arizona, UConn, Florida, Duke. What do they have in common? Their front court is really, really, really good. We're not even talking about guards with those teams right now. We're talking about the big men. And we've got the best point guard in the country, but we have nothing to go with him right now, when we size up against those people. I'm frustrated, but real quick, I'm not going to lie. I love to see those guys do good in the combine, but it's like, how do we go 2-10 when 2 guys set the best records of the best numbers ever for a running back and quarterback, especially in the same year from the same team. How did we win 2 games? 2.
Turnover margin. Don't forget about that. And honestly, think about it.
Right.
Both of those guys had some very bad turnovers in key moments to lose games.
One last question. Who does this help most in recruiting? Does that help Arkansas or Bobby Petrino? And I'll hang up and listen. I appreciate you guys.
You bet, Joey. That's a good question. That's fair. I mean, it's got to help Arkansas. I mean, just to see the name there with these guys, but Petrino. Both are going to use it, Joey. Arkansas is going to use it to recruit. And this year, hey, you saw what Mike Washington did. You saw what Taylor Green. You can come to Arkansas and you can be a star at the combine. You can get to the NFL. We're in the SEC, but Bobby Petrino's telling his recruits the same thing. I recruited Taylor Green. I saw what he had. I recruited Mike Washington. I knew what he had. I don't know if Bobby Petrino was the one who found Mike Washington, but whoever found Mike Washington from New Mexico needs some credit for that. What's up, Joe?
Good.
How are you?
Yeah. How do I look? Do I look pretty?
You do look good.
Thank you.
I got you.
Oh, yeah, you're good to go.
Let's take one more call before we hit the break. Stan, what's up?
What's up, Wes?
Hey, Stan.
How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm good. No complaints.
All right, Freaky Joe.
Hey, what's up, Stan?
Oh, man, ain't nothing going on. But I'm going to say this. I got Big Joe Klein, and I'm going to let Big Joe Klein talk about it. I know what he's going to say. But, hey, man, look here. If they play, I'm going to say this, I'm going to let y'all go. If they play like they played against Florida Saturday, and I know when I say this, y'all going to look at me funny. They probably won't even make the Sweet 16. Y'all have a good day.
See you, man.
No, they play like they did Saturday.
They won't win again.
Yeah, they ain't getting out of the first round.
well, and as I told, but you're not playing a team like Florida in the first round. You're not playing a team like Florida in the second round. You're not playing a team like Florida
That's a big-time Final Four team.
Yeah.
Now, they may not make it, but, I mean, there's no team in the country right now better than Florida. Now, you can argue Michigan and
Duke
but I mean, if they played and Florida beat them, you wouldn't be going, oh my gosh.
No.
You know,
no.
So I mean, especially on a neutral floor. So they're a top 4 team in the country. They should get a number 1 seed. I know UConn's there right now. They're better than UConn. I mean,
I agree with that.
Now UConn beat them earlier, but that was different.
Well, the guards weren't playing good then.
Yeah, it was a different time, different place. I mean. And you got to take into the evolution of a team, and they are a talented team. They are a vet. They don't have look at how many freshmen do they play?
One? Is that Isaiah Brown a freshman?
I think he's a red shirt. I think is he a freshman?
I'm not sure exactly where.
Well, but I mean, let's say that they play one, and he comes off the bench.
Yeah.
And plays
14 minutes.
Right, and like all bigs, killed us. So, we rely heavily on 2 of our best 3 players are freshmen. Okay, they didn't know what they were getting into Friday night. They had no idea, and and it's time for them. Those 2 guys. I know we're wailing on the bigs, and rightfully so. But those 2 guys got to start guarding somebody, man. They're a problem. They're not good defensively. The whole team's not good defensively, but at the point of attack, we got to be better. We got to be able to contain the ball better. We got to do better on our pick and roll. I mean, how many times did you? I mean, did they? Our defense has to, again, be. It doesn't have to be great, because we are a team driven offensively, but to fuel our offense and to get the game going the way we want it to go, we have got to guard somebody, man. I mean, we got to get some stops. We got to get some deflections. We got to get some rebounds so that we can kick that ball out, especially against these bigger teams, and make them play us in the open space. If we come down and try to play against Florida, I'm telling you right now, we try to play against Texas Wednesday night in a half-court game. and try that at Missouri. You will get run at Missouri if you don't. I mean, you will. It'll be same. You know what? Different day. It'll be SSDD. It'll be just a different Saturday. Okay, because Missouri is playing really good, and they're going to be gunning for you too. You're going to go into a very hostile environment in Columbia on Saturday night. A team that you beat, and a team that's on the rise. They play Oklahoma Tuesday, so they've got a good chance to be coming into that game, like I think, on a 4-game winning streak. And they're looking at really upping their seed and really making a statement by beating us. Man, you better be ready. And Texas is in the same boat. Yeah. Texas played, again, it was at Texas. But Texas had Florida down.
Yeah, for
late
30.
Late in the second half.
7 minutes.
So, again, this is it's time. You gotta bring it, man, in all phases. And again, we're it's not as bad as it seems, And it wasn't when we beat Tennessee and ran Vanderbilt and demolished South Carolina. We weren't going to the Final Four on that, okay, off of those wins. And we're not doom and gloom off of this. But there's some things that got to change.
I was wrong. Isaiah Brown's a sophomore.
Yeah.
So they didn't play any freshmen until at the end of the game. Two freshmen came in. We got to take a break. When we come back, more with Joe Klein, more on the Razorbacks basketball team, more of your phone calls. It's Out of Bounds.
10 Fitness brings you Top 10 Tuesdays with The Zone each week. Justin and DJ will dive into a different Top 10 list and take your calls. Brought to you by 10 Fitness. Turn back the clock on gym prices.
This is Sports Center.
Camden Kojal continues to be the leader of the pack in the home run department for the number 6 Arkansas baseball team.
Here's the 2-1. Atwood swung on, skied to center, hit well. Going back is McAfee at the track, at the wall, and is gone.
That was Kojal's team-leading 6th home run in the bottom of the 3rd inning Sunday as the Razorbacks beat Texas Arlington 11-1 in 7 innings. Ryder Helfrich finished 3 for 3 with a home run, while Kojal and Carson Brumbaugh were both 2 for 3. In other Division I games across the state Sunday, ASU swept UAPB with a 7-2 win. UCA beat South Dakota State 9-3, giving Coach Nick Harlan his 100th win with the Bears. I'm Todd Pierce for the Buzz Radio Network.
Pat Bradley joins Randy and Rick on Drive Time Sports each week, courtesy of Razorback Camper Sales in Hot Springs. Celebrating 57 years in business, offering all new travel trailers, fifth wheels, and pop-ups at RV show prices. Explore their inventory in person or online at RazorbackCamperSales.com. Randy, Rick, and the Shooter on 103.7 The Buzz.
Willie D's Dueling Pianos has not moved yet. They're still rocking right here in the Little Rock River Market. Dueling Pianos upstairs, DJs downstairs with food and drinks every week. Reserve and learn more at WillieD'sPianoBar.com.
Come and get your Willie on.
Oaklan is here for when you want non-stop racing and non-stop action. The season's back, the weekends are packed, and it's time to plan your visit. The classic racing season kicks off January 30th and runs through May 2nd with exciting weekends, great food and drinks, and the kind of atmosphere you can only find in Hot Springs. It's fast, it's lively, it's time to win. Oaklan Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
DQ presents the Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ Soft Serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into Soft Serve. Plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary.
Your family market stores believe in giving, and we believe in supporting the communities where we live and work also. That's why in March, Family Market will be raising funds for Arkansas Children's, where 100% of your donations goes directly to Arkansas Children's. That includes the sale from every purchase of cookies and brownies for only $1 all month long. So, donate and give today at your local Family Market store, whether you're in Pangburn, Shannon Hills, Malvern, Mayflower, Hot Springs, or Wooster.
If you already scheduled your garage door tune-up for just $79, please disregard this message. If you don't have a garage door, you're off the hook. For the rest of you, why would you spend more than just $79? Overhead Door Company of Little Rock will perform their garage door tune-up and safety inspection for just $79 on up to 3 garage doors and openers. Call 501-510-6399 or schedule online, overheaddooroflittlerock.com.
Johnston's Home Center presents Bubba Carpenter when he gets in the zone with Justin and DJ each week. Outdoor supplies, mowers, appliances, and much more can all be found at Johnston's Home Center. Johnston's Home Center in Benton, your one-stop shop. If they don't have it, you probably don't need it.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios. Online at TruService.net.
It's Therapy Monday.
How much do I owe you? I brought you some hamburgers.
We're even. I listen for food. Do you feel better?
I feel a lot better. My wife kind of just turns and walks away. At least, and you looked me in the eye, and you shook your head. I mean, you acted like you were really listening and acted like you cared.
I watched Shrinks. I know how they do it.
Look,
I should have got my notepad.
I saw Joe ain't even in the room. And Joe left. Joe didn't want to hear it. Joe's like my wife. He's like, I don't want to hear that. I hear this all the time when they don't play good. I'm just gonna walk away. I do feel better, man. I feel really good.
No, that's what today's all about. We get it out of our system, and we move on and get ready for Texas. And you are right. I mean, I watched Texas A&M, and Texas was slowing it down.
Yeah.
Half-court game. That's what they'll want to do at Bud Walton Arena. They have a big guy. Now, he's not the caliber of the Florida bigs, but he's nice.
You let him get position on you.
Oh, lights out.
Yeah, he's gonna get. He'll get 25 to 30. I'm just telling you. I mean, he's big and he can score right around the rim. He's very talented, and he's long. He's a guy that, again, you let him get you deep. He can get offensive rebounds deep on you, keep balls alive, And again, you start scoring baskets. That's when you can control the pace of the game. And again, stops lead to tempo. No stops, no tempo. And when you give up 111, you're not going to get the game at the tempo you want. And so, again, it was the perfect storm. I mean, it was an absolute perfect storm. Game day, they're playing great. Their coaches got, they've got an MO right now. They're playing with a chip. It's us. They got us against the world. Boogie's coming out going, no, nobody talked to me when I was Arkansas. I mean, go away. I mean, that's a bunch of BS. I mean, they treated him good.
Yeah.
He
came back out and said that clip was taken out of context.
It ain't taken out of context. It's a lie. Is what it is. It's a straight up lie is what it is.
Boogie played the whole thing, and he was like, I never once said the Arkansas players are Arkansas coaches. I think Boogie was talking about like his friends back home, people that were people quit texting, maybe fans that were texting or whatever.
Well, that's a big clarification. Yeah. I mean,
no,
when somebody's talking to you about the Arkansas game, you need to you got to be smart enough to clarify.
They took that off of his YouTube channel, and that was an interview with ESPN. They took it and took the excerpt and put that. And that's according to Boogie. I saw the apology yesterday, or not even the apology. He's like, guys, I have nothing bad to say about Arkansas, the players or the coaches. And that's not what this was.
They're still not playing at home, so I wonder if they're talking to him now.
Yeah.
Like, does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just that really, because I was up around that team a little bit, and
we saw the video after the one of the games. They're in the locker room celebrating, and they FaceTime Boogie, and you see Boogie on there, and they're all celebrating together after a victory.
I mean, I was like, again, you gotta be smart enough to clarify that stuff, and
because they are going to take it out of context and run with it.
And they did.
Yeah.
And you see how it came across with me. And
everybody.
And I'm glad
social media blew up.
And I'm glad he apologized for it. I'm glad he clarified it, and I'm glad that it was taken out of context. And I'm glad that there's proof that it was on his YouTube channel and he was talking about other things. That makes me feel better about him. But I could have if he would have been in the room with me Saturday night, I could have strangled him.
Joe, these last two games coming up, and you hate to look ahead, but they have two left. Which one do you feel better about the matchup? Because you got Texas at home. You've already seen Missouri, but it is on the road, and Missouri, it was a close game.
Yeah, they're both going to be hard games. I mean, because everybody's kind of fighting for their life right now, trying to improve their status but Missouri's going to be a Florida game. I mean, Missouri is going to be sitting there and they are going to be waiting. They've got a good chance to win tomorrow night. I think they're at Oklahoma, if I'm correct. I'm not sure. I think they're at Oklahoma, and that's a winnable game. So you win that game, now you're looking at 4 or 5 in a row for them, I believe, and to end the season. And again, they will have a chip on their shoulder because we beat them. Missouri, Arkansas, especially in basketball, it always seems to me Missouri has a little bit of more of a chip, on their shoulder playing us in basketball, for whatever reason. But they really want to give it to us. They want to hand it to us. And so and that crowd will be, if they win Tuesday night, probably even if they lose Tuesday night, that crowd's going to be a Florida-type crowd. I mean, the students are going to be going nuts. The team's going to be jacked up, and you better bring it, because if you don't, you're going to be staring down a 20 to 30-point loss again, because they are going to be fired up to the nth degree.
Another note to that game: Missouri could be playing for a top 4 seed in the SEC tournament, so this game could mean a lot to them as far as getting a double bye.
And it means a lot to them because 2 weeks ago they were one of the last 4 in. They were looking at an 11 seed and playing in Dayton. Now, I mean, you end like they end, beating Arkansas and beating Tennessee and destroying some people, and then you go in the tournament and win a couple games. You could be looking at a 5 seed for them, a decent seed in the tournament for them. So they've got a lot to play for, as does Arkansas.
Let's go to the Middleton Heat and Air text line. Here you go, Joe. Where's Brazil's game gone? We need the Brazil that finished the season last year. Also getting tired of the poor loser attitude towards the end of games.
Well, Brazil is what Brazil is. This is his 5th year, and this is what he is. So he is not a physical player. Now, he has gotten better driving the ball. He doesn't just camp out at the 3-point line. He's become a very good shot blocker, and at times a decent rebounder. Again, but against physical play and physical people defending in the post and things like that, that's not him. And if you're waiting for it, it ain't happening. Okay, now he's got to take a little more pride, and he's got to do some things differently to try to be a little bit better at that. But he is not a physical player. The thing I don't like about him offensively, the kid, is it Hawk? They're similar in size and similar in frame, but that guy, and again, he's more confident and he's been playing great. But when he gets the ball, I want Brazil to play like him. Like when they throw the ball to Hog on the wing or up top, a lot of times he just catches that thing and he drives it. And he gets in there, he shoots that right-hand hook or shoots something, he just uses his quickness, and then he uses his length at the rim to beat bigger defenders off the ball or to take guys, like-sized guys off the dribble. I don't like Brazil, standing out there and just standing and a lot of the threes he shoots are set shots, which are fine, but there's a lot of times I'd like to see him just catch that ball and drive it into the lane and get into the lane and try to make a play that way. I think he's become a little passive offensively, only looking for the great wide open three. Again, big. He's got to get us 2 or 3 offensive rebounds a game, get us 2 or 3 putbacks a game. How many free throws did he shoot the other night?
2.
Yeah, I mean, those are the good Brazil is going to get you to the line.
I think that came off of offensive rebound, right? When he flew in, and he did.
Yeah.
He came in, crashed the paint, got a rebound up high, and he was fouled and made 1 or 2.
If Brazil could get 8 points a game off of free throws and a couple putbacks, okay, he might make a couple threes, maybe 3, or make a couple 2s, and now you're looking at 14 to 18 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
When he doesn't get to the free throw line and he doesn't get us any putbacks, now you're looking at a 5 to 9 point game from him. And so
he had 3.
Yeah, and so he again, and that's what all these guys got to do. We got to get from those 3 guys an average of 20 points and 15 rebounds a game. From the 3 of them.
They should just show him Billy Richmond's film.
Yeah.
See how aggressive he is,
right.
Going to the basket, attacking the basket. That's all you got to do.
If you can get 20 points and 15 rebounds from those 3 guys, between the 3 of them, one night Ewing may be the guy, and one night Pringle, or one night Brazil, whatever. But and the other guys are complementary to that.
I think you got to get more, Joe.
Well, I'm begging for that right now because
bare minimum.
I ain't getting that. So I mean,
they got 14 against Florida.
Yeah.
And it was terrible, and it was a mismatch. But I think on a normal night against SEC teams, Ewing should be getting you anywhere from 12 to 16, like you're saying with Brazil. Brazil the same. That's 24, 25, and get Pringle to chip in 5.
Yeah.
That's 30.
Yeah, I'm again, beggars can be choosers.
Yeah.
So I mean, like right now, I'm just, again, what Cal said at the beginning of the year, when they were talking about it, and I've said this ad nauseum on this show and others, is that if you don't have an inside presence, you're a fraud. No, okay, you gotta have a presence. You can't get. Basically, what he's saying is you cannot get punked in the lane. Now, again, you don't have to dominate, but you can't get punked. And so, we gotta man up and get after it, especially these last 2 games, because you win these last 2 games, you get on a positive note.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very winnable, but they're not check the box wins.
We'll take our final break at the first hour. We'll wrap it up when we come back. More calls. It's Out of Bounds.
Superstars Joe Klein and Pat Bradley for Arkansas's #1 sports app, Bet Saracen.
Joe, you know the main difference between Bet Saracen and those other guys?
Definitely. Easier to navigate. Always good parlays. Plus lots of fun choices. Like ping pong. Right there on the app.
But the real difference are those special promos.
Get $250 on us with your first $25 wager.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
Hi, it's Frank Fletcher from the Fletcher Dodge store here in Sherwood. Folks, if you're shopping for a new car or truck, I hope you'll come see us and give us a chance to earn your business. We have huge discounts, 0% financing available, and we'll give you $1,000 over Kelly Blue Book value for your trade-in. Folks, I guarantee you a hassle-free buying experience. And if you've had credit problems in the past, listen to this. We have an easy pre-approval process. Just go to FletcherCredit.com to get started. You can be pre-approved in minutes. It's really not hard. FletcherCredit.com. Folks, we're also still buying cars every day. If you got an old car or truck you want to turn into cash, bring it to Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood and ask for Chris or Andy. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Shop in person or shop online at FletcherDeals.com. Thank you.
It's never too late to become better. The Arkansas Senior Olympics, presented by UAMS, invites men and women aged 40 and older to compete in the 3-on-3 half-court basketball tournament April 25th in Benton. This event qualifies teams for the 2027 National Games in Tulsa. The deadline to register is April 11th. Team fee is $250 for up to 10 players or 9 players and a coach. Volunteers and sponsors are also needed. Learn more and register at arseniorolympics.org.
Attention! If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 501-382-9100. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 501-382-9100. That's 501-382-9100.
Johnston's Home Center in Benton is your one-stop shop for appliances, bedding, lawn care, and sewing. That's right, Johnston's, your hometown shop for sewing and embroidery machines, supplies, fabrics, and more. For your outdoor needs, check out their steel chainsaws, leaf blowers, riding mowers, and a wide selection of lawn and garden equipment for the green thumb in your family. Johnston's Home Center, 1421 Military Road in Benton, or on the web at johnstonsHomecenter.com. If they don't have it, you probably don't need it.
Hey, it's Kramer for Drive Time Sports. And Monday, Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaefer are back live in the Eat My Catfish studio, and they're bringing in Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen, Fox 16 Sports Director Courtney Mims, Trey Beatty from HogSports.com. Thanks to Chris Crane Hyundai and Genesis of Conway, and the shooter Pat Bradley. Thanks to Bet Saracen and Razorback Camper Sales. We'll see you Monday on 103.7 The Buzz.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz, live from the TruService Credit Union studios.
What up, y'all? Yeah, soundtrack, what's poppin', baby? Woo! Y'all ain't know.
Back at it. It is Out of Bounds. Westmore, Joe Franklin. We got Joe Klein hanging out in the studio. We've been talking about Arkansas and their disappointing loss against Florida over on the Middleton Heat and Air text line. Scott says, even though the score was horrible, I think if we had just done a few little things, it would have been much closer. I mean, 10 more free throws, 40% on three-point shots, and all those misses at the rim, we would have been hanging right there with them. You would have had to score and score and score. In a game like this, where Florida was basically scoring every possession, you had to score every possession.
Right. I mean, again, it's never as bad. I mean, I was talking to Jimmy Dykes today about the game, and I was saying, man, Jimmy, remember when I was a sophomore at Arkansas, we were number 3 or 4 in the country, and we had to go down to Houston. And we didn't. Coach kind of gave us a light schedule early. We played a few teams, but we didn't play anybody really until that game. And I mean, they beat us like 75-60, which in today's game that's like a 25-point loss. I mean, they beat the dog out of us. And so, you know, again, we rebounded back, and you know, it was a good moment for us and all that. So again, it's. You know, I would love to see them play again. I would love to see them play again on a neutral floor.
Might see it next weekend.
Yeah, I would love to see that. That would tell me a lot about A-Cup. It would tell me a lot about Malik Thomas. It would tell me a lot about all of them. You know, and I would if I was a coach, thank God I'm not a coach. But I would tell them the first time Cheney Lou comes down the lane, whoever puts a forearm shiver to his throat gets $250. That's why I will never be a coach.
There's a time to take those shots. And there's a time when not to take those shots.
Not to that extent.
Well, hey, Brazil got a flagrant one for pushing a guy in the back. I would much rather see him get a flagrant one for another reason.
Pop somebody boxing out, man. Again, I'm not advocating whoever's losing their mind out there. That was a joke, but I'm saying you got to be. It's grown-up basketball.
Hour number 2 is next.
For the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter agent Kyle Stone in Pine Bluff, Justin Stewart in Malvern, or Drew
yourself in Hot Springs today.
Oaklan is here for when you want. Season's back, the weekends are packed, and it's time to plan your visit. The classic racing season kicks off January 30th and runs through May 2nd with exciting weekends, great food and drinks, and the kind of atmosphere you can only find in Hot Springs. It's fast, it's lively, it's time to win. Oaklan Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Catch the buzz on our social media platforms presented by Luxury Pool and Spa in Conway and Russellville. It's almost pool season. Start making plans for your new pool today. LuxuryPoolArkansas.com.
This is Chuck Barrett inviting you to listen to me call the Hogs on 103.7 The Buzz. KABZ Little Rock.
The Razerbacks are coming at you.
Buzz News with KARK's Gary Burton Jr.
Police in Bryan are warning people not to fall victim to a scam involving youth sports. Bryan PD says scammers use fake fundraisers, pressuring you to donate to their team. They say scammers pose as players or sell candy to ask for money through digital payments like Venmo or Cash App. Police urge people to be aware when someone asks for digital donations only. They say you should ask for official team information and never hand someone your phone. If you think you've been a target of this scam, report it to police. And Little Rock police are searching for the driver of a deadly hit and run. Police say a person was hit just before 1 a.m. on Sunday morning. It happened on the Woodrow Overpass at Interstate 630. Anyone who knows what happened is asked to call Little Rock Police. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm KARK's Gary Burton Jr. Have a great day.
Out of Bounds Hotline on 103.7 The Buzz is presented by D3 Auto Sales, Arkansas's #1 independent used car dealership, specializing in level and lifted trucks. D3AutoSales.com.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Pat Walker.
After a chance of some really light rain showers this morning, it's going to remain mostly cloudy today, and it will warm up to around 72 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 54. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a high of 78. Yes, warmer, and it'll be a windy day, too. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Pat Walker.
Are you hungry? Something new, $25, all you can eat, sushi rolls, soup, salad, Benihana rice. Come at Benihana's Monday through Thursday.
Tune in each week when Susan Irwin Prowse shares her Keys to the Weekend music events calendar with Justin and DJ. Brought to you by Willie D's and Big Red Dog Productions. Big Red Dog Productions is your gateway to music excellence in Central Arkansas and beyond. Visit entertainersguide.com to see the weekly calendar and submit your shows.
Hey folks, this is Mitch Ward, proudly serving the great state of Arkansas with Red River Auto Group for over 20 years. We started as Arkansas's #1 Ram Dodge Chrysler Jeep dealer, but we've also got Ford and Toyota. And I like to think we've got the largest discounts than anybody in the state. But folks, really, if you bring us any reasonable deal right now, we're going to try to put something together. If that means us giving a little too much for your trade or selling ours, or just a little too cheap, or fighting for the best rate, we're going to make it happen. Check us out at redriverauto.com.
I'm Alan LeVar. For 25 years, my team and I have helped injury victims across Arkansas. This is our home. We don't work for insurance companies, we work for you. Car crash, truck wreck, motorcycle collision. We know how to win, and if you can't come to us, we'll come to you. Your consultation is always free and confidential. Hurt in the car? Call LeVar. Arkansas strong for 25 years and ready when you need us. LeVar Law. Arkansas built, Arkansas trusted.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra-high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes. Is it hard for her to admire nature when the camera doubles as the bird's potty? Also, yes. But it's Jane's savings, and if she wants to spend her time watching the digestive habits of the white-breasted nuthatch, we say you go, girl. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
And ESPN Radio Extra Point with Myron Calf.
Imagine being in a relationship with someone who's like, I'm going on a few dates just to get your attention. It's not a good situation, right? You probably would be looking for another place to live under those circumstances. I get it, though. I don't want any team to be emotional in these moments. Like, J.J. McCarthy missed the first year. Young quarterback. He was hurt last year. Hurt again, but we saw him make a lot of big mistakes. And I think the biggest thing with him, Matt, is so many of his colleagues in that class have done pretty well for themselves. Caleb Williams, what he did, the resurgence in Chicago. Drake May's second in MVP voting. Bo Nix takes the Denver Broncos back to the playoffs. Jay Daniels got hurt, but we know what he's been able to do in his career. And then Michael Penix, maybe the jury's still out on him, but J.J. McCarthy is the one guy where you're like, what do we have here? So I think you got to bring in somebody, not to get his attention, but to start over him if he's not the guy.
Want consistent color for every job? Milo's Pro Rewards members get a 20% paint discount on future purchases after paint annual qualifying spend reaches $3,000. Plus, order eligible in-stock paint and paint supplies by 2 p.m. for free same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Improving is easy at Lowe's. Excludes spray paint and mist tints. More exclusions, terms, and conditions apply. Subject to change. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Same-day delivery valid in select zip codes. Subject to driver availability. Details at Lowe's.com/same-day delivery.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love. Sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Wes Moore and Joe Franklin on 103.7 The Buzz.
We were saying with Billy, you're going to be driving the ball a lot today, and he did. But you can't have one or two guys when you're playing this kind of team. You got to have everybody. If you're avoiding their contact, you can't play in this game. And we had a bunch of guys try to go sideways and then come back and back and back. You can't play that way. Your head got to be down. You got to be into their body, and you got to. In the second half, we did some of it, but you're down 25. It's playing for nothing.
I was just looking at my notes. I wrote down in my notes Saturday, too many hard layups.
Yeah.
They weren't the easy layups, taking it to the basket. It was those layups. You're fading away, trying to avoid contact, throwing it up from 5 feet out instead of at the rim.
It's like a friend of mine said, I've heard it for years, but if you drive into the lane and you jump up and you're hoping something, hope's not a good plan. You know, you gotta go in it. Like, again, you can't. When I was coaching, I would always say the calls favor the offense. So if there's contact, unless you just extend that arm and push somebody off where it's blatant, or if you just absolutely steamroll somebody, most of the times if there's contact, there's going to be a no call or there's going to be a foul on the defense.
Mm-hmm.
And if you keep going in there enough, again, it's like Alabama. When we played Alabama, you know, we got called because we were extending our arms and grabbing them, and our hands are out on their drives, and they're you know, it's an easy call. When we drove, they had their hands up, and it was still a foul, but they were hitting us with their chest, hitting us with their body, and that's more subjective. You know, it's still a foul. You know, but again, there's 5 or 6 times we drove against Alabama where they didn't call it, you know, because it was, you know, that now they called it 5 or 6 times, but there were 5 or 6 times they didn't call it. Mm-hmm. Whereas with us, you know, we just had our hands out there all over them, and it's an easy call. So, you know, but if you drive and you go hard, you have to go hard. Mm-hmm. If you don't go hard, you end up going sideways, like Coach said, and you're hoping. And hope's not a good plan.
Well, I was always taught if you're driving in at a big man, you go at his chest.
All these guys, I mean, the pros are great at it. Like James Harden and them. Watch their inside shoulder when they drive. I mean, they are trying to put that dang thing on you and pop you with it. If you're a shot blocker, they're popping you and getting you off balance so they can get it up over you. I mean, they're looking for it. Now, they're not trying to run you over, but, man, that inside shoulder, even on post play, when you see guys like the other night, I mean, Florida did a great job when they get it on the block, man. You'd see them. They dip that inside, whichever way they were dribbling, they were leading with that shoulder. Weren't extending their arm, but they were putting it on you. They were putting it on you. And then if you favored it too much, they'd spin back the other way and, have a little baby hook, And so, again, you got to embrace the physicality of the game. You don't have to be a physical team, but you have to embrace the fact that there's physicalness, there's physicality in the game, and you have to be able to adapt to it defensively, and you have to be able to do some of it offensively.
For players like Acuff and Malik Thomas, you would think that that's something they already have in their game, but is that something that at this level you have to teach them?
They're good at. I mean, they have some of it in them, but again, when you drive in there, it's got to be an every time thing. I mean, and again, what happens is like against a Texas A&M or against some of these teams, you can get away with it. You can shoot those little floaters, and because there's not a big body or somebody right up on you, and you can get away. But against your better teams, again, those. Again, I'm not talking about the floaters that they shoot coming downhill looking right at the rim. I'm talking about those sideways where the ball goes way out and it's almost a hook.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or you're turning your body and you're floating sideways trying to shoot a shot back. I saw Billy do that a couple times. And
that's kind of what he does at times.
Yeah, and I don't like that. That's probably the only thing Billy does that, I don't like that shot. I don't think you're not going to get the referee's is going to look at that. Even if you get fouled, he's not going to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a tough shot to make.
Yeah.
I mean, floaters are hard to make regardless. And you start going sideways instead of coming right downhill, man, the degree of difficulty goes up tenfold.
What it shows about Billy, though, he has no fear.
No.
Other players, they stay away from it, but he's going to take that chance.
I got no problem with Billy.
Mm-mm.
Billy, like I said, if I'm walking down the alley at 3 o'clock in the morning in Beirut and I got Billy Richmond with me, I'm humming and whistling and singing a song.
Well,
I got no worries.
I think it was the A&M game. I said Billy can do no wrong. Even at the end of the half when Billy got the foul called on when he had his arms outstretched and kind of gave the A&M guy a pop in the head with his arm. He got a personal foul and they got free throw. I guess it was a flagrant one.
Yeah.
No one was griping about it because you know what? Billy has earned so much goodwill that you put up with that. Several people in the Middleton Heat and Air text line have suggested that they should have put in Elmir Jovic against those Florida big guys. What do you think about that theory?
Well, and I'll be honest with you. I talk with Jimmy Dykes all the time. He and I are best friends, and we're like family. And he and I have talked about that a lot. And he and I are in agreement. Again, I'm kind of the old school guy. Like Friday night or Saturday night, the way it was going, and Pringle and Ewan and Brazil weren't, first half I'd have been like, and I'd have put him in. I'd have put the big kid in, and I'd have just told him, I said, Chinny Lou I said, I don't care if you foul out in 5 minutes. He better not get an offensive rebound against you. I don't care what you got to do. Start a fight, man. I don't care. Try to get this team going. Mm-hmm. Get some juice going in this team. Now, again, don't throw a punch. I'm not, but I'm due to him what he's doing to us, pushing and grabbing and holding and getting position and frustrating him through using your big body. Because I would look at the guys on the bench and go, if y'all ain't going to do it, I'm going to find somebody that's going to do this. And now, again, I don't think it's fair because I don't know that he's ready. He hadn't been, to throw him in, like that.
Against the best front line in in the country.
That's hard,
Joe.
you know?
But
so, but again, you know, I would not put big expectations on him, but what do you got to lose?
Yeah,
man? I mean, and he might even if you could get him to play 5 or 10 minutes, you know, he might give you a reprieve from foul trouble. You know what I'm saying? I mean, against the kid against Texas tomorrow night. I mean, again, you have simple pick and roll stuff, and you know, set a high pick, roll to the basket. You know, you don't get him involved in dribble handoffs and stuff like that. You're like, hey, dude, set a pick, get your butt to the rim. Set a pick. It's like me when I ran the 4-game passing game with Coach. I'd set a back pick, a down pick, and I would post. If I got up around that free throw line or started stepping out, it was, hey, Joe, get your ass back down there in the block where you belong. Yes, sir, Coach Sutton. You know, so, I mean, it's, you know, that kind of thing. You don't, but again, I mean, I don't know how fair that would be for him right now, but again, you might fire your team up. It might motivate some guys to play a little harder. I don't know. I mean, all of us need a little kick in the pants every now and then. So again, I like the idea. I don't know how fair it is to that kid, but again, in situations like that, he couldn't have done any worse.
And that's the thing about it. It is situational, and the game was out of hand.
Yeah,
so
right.
You put him in there, and he's a part of this team as a development piece.
Right.
How can you get development? How better to get development than throw him into the
there,
fire?
there was nothing to lose. I mean, you had nothing to lose. I mean, so, I mean, you know, you put him in and he plays, and we lose by 36 instead of 34. I mean, you know.
You also may put him in, and it opens his eyes
Right.
to what
I
he
mean,
needs to do to
yeah,
continue to develop.
Maybe you find something that, you know, again, like you have one or two plays, you know, high pick and roll, set the pick, roll to the rim, you know, and get the rebound. Set the pick, roll to the rim, or, you know, get Malik. You know, Malik's coming off a stagger on the baseline. Don't set a moving pick, but you know, and then turn and then tell him every time after you sack the pick when Chinny Lou's guarding you, turn and throw your freaking elbow right into his chest as hard as you can and stick your butt right into his hips as hard as you can every single time. And again, you get somebody doing that to you over and over and over and over again, you know, it might frustrate him, might tire him out a little bit. You know, again, it wouldn't have made any difference in the game. I'm not saying that at all. But again, you know, that's how you know, Cal's forgot more basketball, and Cal sees him every day. Mm-hmm. And Cal's got a better. So again, and the last thing Cal ever wants to do is put a kid in a situation that's going to make him where he has no chance to have success. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I don't begrudge them. I know that from my standpoint, I would find or have some kind of thing to where I could it's a big body and try to find a way to use it to where it's advantageous for everybody, you know, not just kind of a, you know, I'm mad at everybody and I'm going to throw you in and play and the kid gets embarrassed and doesn't look good. So again, I would have played him.
Let's take a call. LC is in Sherwood. Hey, LC.
Hey, guys. I'm not trying to get all over him too hard, but Joe, regarding Pringle, I mean, is this just a serious misjudge of talent evaluation, or what happens to a dude that, you know, has got the frame? Now, he's not that athletically gifted, but, I mean, he's just a no-show. And I know he's had some personal issues, but what do you think in your mind possibly could be going on with this dude? You know, that's all I got, really. Thank y'all.
Yeah, I mean, you know, again, I mean, he's not playing bad on purpose, man. Okay, I mean, he's a good young man. I've got to be around him and watch Cal, so I mean, it's not like, I mean, he's struggling. I mean, he's having a hard time. He's getting out of position. He's getting fouls called on him early. He's playing against some good players that are good, and he's up against it. And again, you know, he when you start struggling and things start going through your head, and you don't have a good vibe, and you're not feeling good about yourself. He missed 5 free throws the other night. Well, that's just again, he's not trying to miss those free throws. He wants to make those free throws. He's just he's not in a good place. And how do you get into a good place? Well, you get in there and you get some rebounds, you get a putback, you get fouled, you make 1 out of 2, you make a good pass, you set a good screen, the team has some, and you start getting some good feeling about yourself, and feeling about, you start thinking about doing good things instead of, what I don't want to mess up. I don't want to mess up. I don't want to mess up. And so, again, I just think he needs to, you got to be a grown man about these things. You got to address it, look at it, and then you get back to in the post play with effort. Concentrate on your effort. Don't concentrate on. It's like you hear Cal talking about to Knox and all these guys. Play hard, man. Get out, do what you're supposed to do. Know your assignments. Know who you're guarding. Play hard. Everything else will come. But you start. Well, I haven't scored, or I haven't got a rebound, and you start thinking about all these other things, and you start pressing, or you start moping, and then it's snowballs. So, he's got to get back. Just get out there. The first 3 or 4 minutes of the game tomorrow against Texas, you're playing against a bigger, slower kid. See if you can beat him down on a break one time, get you a dunk, or get you a layup. Get a rebound and sprint out down the middle of the floor. See if you can beat him down the floor. Get you something easy, effort plays, things like that, to where you start getting a good feeling, because it's all mental. I mean, it's like anything, when you're playing golf or playing anything, and things are going good, you're into it. Your mind is right and everything. And
it seems easy.
Yeah, and that's where he's got to focus on very, very fundamental, simple things, and try to do those at breakneck speed. And something good will happen. He'll get some rebounds. He'll block a shot. He'll get a loose ball, and that'll feed that to where hopefully it could be more.
Let's go, Jeff. He's in Heber. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, I was just going to say, what do you think? Have you kind of given up on these big guys for Coach Kyle to get them in line and get them together? I mean, they all are great. Can play great at times, but they're not consistent together. What do you think, Joe? What's your opinion? I'll sit back and listen.
Well, I don't think Cal's given up on him by any means. I mean, Cal's the ultimate players coach. I guarantee you he's coaching them, and I guarantee you he's trying to fill them with positivity and get them, because he's got to have them. I mean, you got to have these guys. This is what you got right now. So, for you to sit there and do a Jerome Tang thing like at Kansas State, what's that going to do? I mean, if you're frustrated with them, that's great, but that does no good to voice that or say that. So this is what you got. And again, it comes down to, it's a simple game, Wes. I mean, I mean, and think about what don't go into games, Brazil, thinking I got to get 25. I got to make 6 threes. No, you don't, man. You got to rebound. You got to guard, sprint, and run the floor. Play so hard the first 5 minutes that you're looking, and you got to come out. Coach, I need a blow. That's what I would tell all of them. I say, when you go in there, your goal is to try to play 5 minutes as hard as you possibly can. Again, without fouling and being reckless, and play the right way, do what we're asking you to do, but try to play so hard that you're looking at me after 5 minutes and going, I need a blow. And that's where I would start. I would say, go as hard as you possibly can, and we'll get you a blow, but that's all you think about. Go as hard. Don't save yourself. Don't, again, don't be stupid and get 4 fouls. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But effort. That's all when I played, I got to where I was like, I'm going to play as hard as I possibly can, because I found out that worked for me. Because when I started thinking about shots and this and that, I was focused in on the game plan and running as hard as I could and boxing out as hard as I could and chasing balls and doing all those things as hard as I can. And things follow that.
I'm so optimistic with Ewan.
I am too. I mean,
he had 11 and 8. If he just missed shots, he was 4 of 12. At least he was active and trying against those Florida big guys.
Right.
And, that's 3 straight games in double figures. I think Ewan can be a guy they can get 15 points from against normal opponents.
Right. And again, Saturday was, when I saw the line was 10.5 early in the day, I was like, that ain't enough. I didn't feel good about this game going in at all. I did not anticipate this, but I did not think it would. I thought we might be able to hang maybe for a half, but I did not see that. If we would have won that game Saturday, I would have been as shocked at any Razorback win maybe ever. I mean, that was a tall task.
Let's go to Casey and Benton real quick. Hey, Casey.
Hey, Joe.
Hey.
I called last year, and I talked real quick about, if you can't stand the heat, don't get in the kitchen. And talked about confidence a minute ago. What kind of confidence you got to give Brazil to get in the dang kitchen? He's scared.
Thanks, Casey.
Well, I mean, again, you say scared a lot, confidence and scared. You can misinterpret that, and you get when it's snowballing, man, it's snowballing. I mean, when it's coming at you like that. I mean, there were games where I got totally annihilated, because it just was like it was coming at you, and there was just nothing's working. But again, he's got to concentrate on effort and. I'd like to see him sometimes when they're swinging that ball just to catch it and drive. I mean, how many offensive fouls have you seen him get this year? I can't think of one.
No.
I mean, run somebody over, man. Run somebody over. Get in there and get after it. I mean, again, don't get in foul trouble. But again, the other night I think late in the second half he had one foul. How many fouls did he end up with?
After the shove in the back, 4.
Yeah, and that was late.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, again, I'm not advocating foul, but don't, get good fouls. Get one driving to the rim, trying to,
How about over the back?
Yeah,
I would love to see that.
Yeah, because
you're going at the glass, trying to get a rebound.
Mm-hmm. Play hard. Concentrate on, if they talk to me, Joe, say something to these bigs for Wednesday. I'd look at them and say, hey, you guys know how to play. See if you can play. See if you can play harder than you've ever played in your life tonight. See if you can do it. I'm not telling you to get 20 points. I'm not telling you to get 20 rebounds. See how hard you can play. Again, not being stupid and run. How hard can you run the floor every time? How hard can you show in the pick and roll? How hard can you box out? How hard can you crash every time? And I guarantee in 5 minutes you're going to be like, I need one. And that's a good thing. And then go, sit down for 2 minutes, get up, hey, give me 4 more, just like that. Give me 4 more, just like that. And I think that the more you start getting all this stuff in your head, you can't play, man. You got to play free. So play hard. Free yourself up.
Great stuff, Joe.
Thank you, man.
You made me feel better. Hope you feel better.
I do. I feel like I owe you an hourly rate. Joe.
The burgers will do the job. Thank you to Corky's.
You bet, man.
Appreciate you always,
Come
Joe.
see us on Friday. We got awesome catfish and shrimp.
Ooh, nice deal right there. All right, coming up next, we'll talk a little Razorback baseball. Matt Jones will join us from WholeHogSports.com. Coach Van Horn spoke with the Swatters Club a little earlier. We'll see what was said. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
If you don't already have the BetSaracen Sports Wager app, download it today from the app stores or go to BetSaracen.com. BetSaracen is Arkansas's favorite sports betting app.
This is Sports Center.
Camden Kojal continues to be the leader of the pack in the home run department for the number 6 Arkansas baseball team.
Here's the 2-1. Atwood swung on, skied to center, hit well. Going back is McAfee at the track, at the wall, and is gone.
That was Kojal's team-leading 6th home run in the bottom of the 3rd inning Sunday as the Razorbacks beat Texas Arlington 11-1 in 7 innings. Ryder Helfrich finished 3 for 3 with a home run, while Kojal and Carson Brumbaugh were both 2 for 3. Another Division I games across the state Sunday. ASU swept UAPB with a 7-2 win. UCA beat South Dakota State 9-3, giving Coach Nick Harlan his 100th win with the Bears. I'm Todd Pierce for the Buzz Radio Network.
U.S. Truck Accessories presents Match Game on Morning Mayhem. Listen for your chance to play their version of the classic TV game show. From U.S. Truck Accessories in Conway and Searcy, your #1 Central Arkansas source for camper shells, bed covers, spray-in bed liners, and more. Veteran-owned since 2002. Online at ustruckaccessories.net.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you. So why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Shelter agent Hayden Strickland in Sherwood, Vic Seidenschwartz in Carlisle, or Todd Matthews in Benton today.
Ray Tucker with good news for enthusiasts of Triumph motorcycles. Honda of North Little Rock now carries the legendary classics and cutting-edge rides. We have the Bonneville Bobber, Daytona 600, the TF450X, the Stunning Ever Special Edition, and the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. You get the idea. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 501-382-9100. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 501-382-9100. That's 501-382-9100.
Arkansas sports fans, this is a night you don't want to miss. The 68th Annual Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame Induction Banquet is happening April 10th at the Oaklan Event Center. From championship moments to legendary careers, they're honoring the icons who built Arkansas sports. For information on tickets and tables, visit arksportshalloffame.com or by calling 501-313-4158. Celebrate the legends, relive the moments, and be a part of Arkansas sports history April 10th.
Your family market stores believe in giving, and we believe in supporting the communities where we live and work also. That's why in March, Family Market will be raising funds for Arkansas Children's, where 100% of your donations goes directly to Arkansas Children's. That includes the sale from every purchase of cookies and brownies for only $1 all month long. So, donate and give today at your local Family Market store, whether you're in Pangburn, Shannon Hills, Malvern, Mayflower, Hot Springs, or Worcester.
Country music star and Arkansas native Joe Nichols joins Morning Mayhem each week, courtesy of D3 Auto Sales, Arkansas's #1 independent used car dealership, specializing in level and lifted trucks. D3Autosales.com.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union studios. TruService Credit Union. Membership has its rewards with low-rate auto loans, competitive mortgages, and one of the lowest interest rate credit cards in the nation. TruService Credit Union. Online at TruService.net.
It's beautiful, it's bittersweet. You're like a broken home to me. I take a shot of memories and black out like an empty street. I fill my days with the way you walk and fill my nights.
Back at it, Out of Bounds, Wes Moore and Joe Franklin. I'll be honest with y'all, I got to take a break. Can't talk about basketball for a little bit. Did the post-game show. That wasn't fun. Not fun talking about the team right now. Better days are coming. Just not right now. Let's talk baseball. Man, they bounced back after a rough Friday. Friday was rough, too. But the bats came alive. Saturday scored 9. Sunday, they scored 11. So they scored 20 runs the last 2 days. Matt Jones, WholeHogSports.com, joined us. Had the Swatters Club a little earlier. Matt, do you feel better about the bats after the last 2 games?
I think I like the lineup that they used the last 2 days. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the line, and you think back to preseason, there was the discussion about what do you do with the lineup if Nolan Souza gets back into it. Who is eliminated? Because there just are not enough positions in the lineup to get everybody on the field. Well, now that you've got Souza playing defense again and Pompey's struggling, Pompey's kind of the odd man out right now. So this is kind of a variation of a lineup that I thought, Arkansas could use. Again, the question is it Pompey who is sitting on the sidelines? Is it, is it Zach Stewart? And, with Pompey, struggling with the swing and miss the way he is right now, and then Stewart's obviously making some pretty good contact. I thought it was a good-looking lineup that they used the last couple of days. And I think the mark of a good team is a couple of things. Number one, if they're hitting the ball hard, that's a pretty good sign. And I think they put like 16 balls into play yesterday that were over 100 miles an hour off the bat. And the other thing that I think is a good sign is when you're putting balls in play up the middle into the opposite field. And even in some of their outs yesterday, there were outs to the other side of the field. And, some of the outs were good situational baseball where Nolan Souza, he grounds out to first, but it's with a runner at second base and nobody out, and it advances that base runner, and he eventually scores. So I think that you saw some of that stuff over the last 2 games. And, even I thought you saw it toward the end of the Xavier series a couple of times, too, or in a couple of games, too, that kind of give you an idea that the team, I guess it gives you optimism that the team is on the right track offensively.
I'm sold on the pitching. I've seen enough. I think they've got a lot of quality arms, Matt. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do. And I think there's a lot of pitchers that we haven't seen yet, or haven't seen very much of, who I think are going to be pretty good pitchers for them. I mean, there's a guy from your neck of the woods, Jackson Kersher, who went to Little Rock Christian, and he's been sick for the last week and just hasn't had a chance to pitch in a game. I was really impressed with what I saw from him in the preseason. I thought he pitched pretty well in his first time out of the bullpen down in Arlington. I think that there's probably a good chance that he might get into a game tomorrow when they play ORU here in Fayetteville. I think he's feeling better now. I think, it's been pretty well documented about the illnesses that's been going through the team, and I think he might have been about as sick as anybody, maybe sicker than anybody. And it's taken a little bit of time for him to be able to get back into a game. But yeah, I mean, look what Colin Fisher's doing as their number 3 starter. He hadn't given up an earned run yet in 19 innings, and I think Hunter Dietz, he's pitching on Saturday. He's pitching like a Friday night guy right now, and he didn't have the fastball going against Xavier. It's a special fastball when it's working, and it was working this weekend, and he's able to throw a lot of really good off-speed pitches off that fastball. And Steele Eaves is pitching well out of the bullpen, and I think Parker Coyle's pitched pretty well out of the bullpen. And I think it's a really impressive collection of arms that they've got. And Dave Van Horn even said today that Carson Wiggins might be available before the season ends, coming off the Tommy John surgery. If he comes back and he pitches anywhere near the capability that he has, that's another weapon that you've got in the bullpen. Now, there's always going to be injuries, to the pitching staff. So it's nice to have that kind of depth. But yeah, you look at their numbers. I think they're second best pitching staff in the SEC right now, behind Texas. And with an offense that's kind of taken a little bit of time to get going this season, I think it's nice to be able to fall back on a pitching staff that's not given up a whole lot.
I heard Friday Phil and Bubba talking about maybe the velocity that Gackle, has he lost a little velocity, or was it down a little bit Friday? Any concerns with?
Yeah, well, there was one. Yeah, there was one pitch, and Bubba and I actually talked about that on our podcast today. There was an up and in pitch that was about 92 miles an hour, and he doesn't throw a 92 mile an hour pitch. Now, maybe he was, maybe it came out of his hand funny. Who knows? But I think that was probably the pitch that you're referring to. He didn't have a great game on Friday, and he seems like he's kind of been historically a slow starter here. Like he doesn't get off to great starts to the season, and I don't know. Last year they started him and they put him in the bullpen, and it turned for him. I don't know what that means necessarily. But I did ask Matt Hobbs about that before the season. Was he more comfortable pitching out of the bullpen? He said he doesn't think last year that it would have mattered if he was starting or if he was relieving. He thinks that his pitching just wasn't very good at the beginning of last season. So I think they're going to give him every opportunity to stay in that Friday night role. But I'll tell you what, if Hunter Dietz continues to pitch like he's pitching on Saturday, I mean that looks like a legit Friday night guy to me. The type of stuff that he has. Colin Fisher's pitching well. They got a lot of options, like we said earlier with this pitching staff.
Got Matt Jones with us, WholeHogSports.com. Had Dave Van Horn at the Swatters Club. Any news today out of the Swatters Club meeting?
Well, I mean, I think what I said earlier about Carson Wiggins potentially pitching this year, I think that was pretty noteworthy. They're going to start James DeCrimmer tomorrow night against ORU. We'll see how long he goes. I suspect that he'll be on a little bit of a short leash for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think they like him as a potential weekend bullpen piece, and they haven't had to have a whole lot of bullpen pitchers, relief pitchers, the last 2 weekends. In fact, I think against Xavier and UT Arlington, they only used 3 relievers in both of those weekends. But they want to have him available, if they need him on the weekend. And then they're going to play a 4-game series against Stetson this coming weekend in Fayetteville. If the rain cooperates, there may be some trouble getting all these games in with the way the forecast is looking. But then the other reason I think that they might keep a shorter leash on him is like we said earlier, it's just really hard for some of these pitchers to get into the game right now. I mean, whether it be, because Colin Fisher's going long, or, maybe there have been a couple of times where they've had pitchers up and they end up getting a run rule win. There's a lot of pitchers on this staff who either they haven't pitched yet, or maybe they've only pitched one time. And so, with it being only the one midweek opportunity this week against ORU, I could see where there's a number of pitchers that get to go out tomorrow night and try to get an inning or so on the mound.
Tell me about Brissy, because I was impressed with him yesterday.
Yeah, he's looked really good.
Or Saturday, I'm sorry.
There's a number of pitchers, a number of freshman pitchers on this team, Wes, who I think I'd even back up and say the entire freshman class, I think, has got the potential to be really good at Arkansas. I mean, you've seen some of these position players who have gotten into the game. Carson Brumbaugh starting every day. Christian Turner's been able to play some. Alexander Peck got an at-bat yesterday. Carter Rutenbar had the RBI hit that ended the game and initiated the run rule. And then you look at the pitching staff. I mean, there's 4 or 5 really good freshman pitchers on this staff, and Brissy's right up there. He's as good, I think, as any of them, especially right now. He's got a chance to be really good. It's got a lot of movement on those pitches. I mean, it's a good velocity, but it's got the movement too, which I think really, obviously that adds a little bit of an element to the hitter trying to time those things up. I'll tell you about Brissy. He wears number 14. He's from Batesville. That's not a coincidence. I mean, he's very influenced by Gage Wood. They're buddies. I think they played together. I think Gage might have been a senior when Mark was a freshman in high school at Batesville. And I see a lot of the same tendencies, I feel like, in Brissy that you saw with Wood. He's just kind of he's a bulldog on the mound, and I think he's got a potential to have a really good career here at Arkansas.
Got Matt Jones with us, WholeHogSports.com. He's on the D3 Auto Sales hotline. We got Steele Eaves coming up in the next hour with us. We have him on every week. What's impressed you the most about Steele?
Just his ability to throw strikes. I mean, he back in the fall, he had 2 different outings where he threw 20 pitches and 17 strikes. Like, not just one time, but he did that 2 times in the fall. And one of those, I think, was against DBU in a fall exhibition that they played back in October. And, you even go back to last week when he threw against Arkansas State. He was in the strike zone. Yesterday he came in during the 8th inning, and, he was in the strike zone. I think he threw 14 pitches, 8 of them were strikes, which for him, that might even be a little bit of a low number. But, he competes. He reminds me of, some of these really good closers that Arkansas has had throughout the years, guys who they might not just blow you away with their velocity, but, man, they compete, and, they've got some good secondary pitches that'll keep you off their fastball, pretty good life to their fastball. I just think the key with him is keeping things down in the zone. There were a couple, 3 times during the preseason when they were scrimmaging at Baum, and, he left up some pitches, or he left some pitches up in the zone. He really got hammered. And I think about Micah New hit one against him. I think it was like 462 feet out into the hog pen. It was pretty impressive to see. But that's the key with him. If he can keep it down in the zone, he can be really, really effective. And I think he's done a pretty good job of that this year. I was even impressed with him the first time that he pitched this year. He came in a really tight situation against Texas Tech. I think the bases were loaded. Gets a guy in the helmet to force home a run, and then a guy gets a hit against him, and Texas Tech takes the lead. But Kozel ties it up, and Arkansas gets the extra innings, and Steele Eaves gets him through the 10th and the 11th without a run. And I thought his ability to bounce back after having such a shaky start to that outing, I thought that showed you a lot about him. He's thrown 8 innings this year, hadn't given up an earned run. He's been really good.
Mm-hmm. Matt, did they seem more aggressive at the plate later this weekend? Maybe not Friday, but Saturday, Sunday. It just seemed to me they were swinging earlier.
Yeah, Saturday for sure. I over here across the room, I've got a chart. I can't remember the exact numbers, but I think they had, of their hits that day, they had I want to say 4 first pitch hits, 4 or 5 second pitch, another few third pitch hits. And so I thought they were really aggressive in the zone. That was something that Mike Trapasso, who's the head coach at UT Arlington, talked to me about after Saturday's game. He said that, their thing as a pitching staff is really filling up the zone on the first pitch of an at-bat, trying to, win that race to the first strike. And he thought Arkansas was really good at being on those pitches, and real aggressive in that game, and, kind of helped them set the tone. But like I said earlier, it's not just swinging, but it's also, putting it kind of where you want it, up the middle and to the opposite field. And I thought they did a really good job of that over the last 2 days. Maybe some of that's the UT Arlington pitchers they saw.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, from a stuff perspective, I think that these guys, they've got some SEC-type stuff. That guy who was throwing yesterday was like 94, 96 on his fastball. That's what you're going to see in the SEC. And he's a freshman. He's probably going to take another year or so before, he hits his ceiling, so to speak. But, I thought that, again, the last 2 days I thought was really, it should give you a lot of optimism about how this team, might perform offensively down the stretch. I think their offensive numbers are coming up a little bit. Their batting average has come up. Their OPS has come up, slugging percentage, on base percentage. Their run totals, they're coming up. And I'm willing to, I think that there were some flaws in there, and certainly some holes in the lineup that we talked about last week when I was on with you guys. There was a lot of swing and miss in the lineup. But I'm really willing to give last week a little bit of a mulligan because of how bad I think a lot of people felt on that team. Even if they were playing, I think they just felt bad. And you could see it in the Arkansas State games, and I thought Friday against UT Arlington, too, that there just wasn't a whole lot of energy in the dugout. And I think for any of us who have had flu or had strep throat, and those are the 2 things that were running through the team, we all know that, those aren't easy illnesses to get over. And even when you're over it, it takes you another, couple, 3 days, maybe 4 days to get your energy back. And I think that I think there's a pretty good chance that that's what they were dealing with last week, in addition to some guys that were struggling at the plate.
Matt, great stuff. Thank you for your time. We always love it when you come on. Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you.
Matt Jones, WholeHogSports.com on the D3 Auto Sales Hotline. We'll take our last break of the second hour. We'll close it up with some calls. I'll check the Middleton Heat and Air text line. We'll get ready for our third hour. Still Eaves starts us off at 3:06. Thanks to Stephen Elmore Shelter Insurance. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Oaklan is here for when you want non-stop racing and non-stop action. The season's back, the weekends are packed, and it's time to plan your visit. The classic racing season kicks off January 30th and runs through May 2nd with exciting weekends, great food and drinks, and the kind of atmosphere you can only find in Hot Springs. It's fast, it's lively, it's time to win. Oaklan Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Experience the unmistakable difference today at D3 Auto Sales in Des Arc or West Memphis. D3 Auto Sales is your home for quality used trucks, SUVs, and cars from all top brands, specializing in unique customized lifted and leveled used trucks, including four-wheel drives. And this commitment to excellence extends to their full-service 10-bay service department as well. Also, looking to trade in or sell your vehicle? D3 Auto Sales pays top dollar for your pre-owned vehicle. D3AutoSales.com.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. This year has been the proverbial annus horribilis for Arkansas AD Hunter Yurachek. He came to the Little Rock Touchdown Club and admitted that the Hogs can't compete with the big boys because they don't have the money. He fired a football coach. He hired a football coach. And a lot of smart folks are giving him grief about not honoring Arkansas's proud history with retired numbers or jerseys. And also, he made that dumb 6-7 joke on the committee. But Miami's selection turned out to be justified. May the same be true for the hiring of Coach Silverfield. If Hunter stops into one of Double B's 34 locations in Arkansas, he can tell us some more of those 6-7 jokes. And we won't even laugh, but we'll give him a breakfast sandwich or maybe even a corn dog. 6 or 7 of them, even. Double B's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Double B's.
Down south, a handshake means something, and we let our actions do the talking. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm is rooted in Southern tradition and grit. Southern-born and raised and Arkansas-based, Brad Hendricks is named a Mid-South super lawyer year after year. So for car and big truck wrecks, medical malpractice, wrongful death, bankruptcy, and Social Security claims, his law firm produces results. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Southern roots, serious results.
Hey y'all, Roger Scott here. When addiction takes hold, it does not stay in one lane. It spreads into your body, your relationships, your work, your sense of who you are. And for a lot of people, the idea of getting help feels overwhelming, clinical, or just plain unreachable. And that's where Peak State Recovery changes the conversation. Peak State Recovery is now open in Perrin, Arkansas, offering medical detox and residential treatment that treats the entire person, not just the addiction. Real clinical care backed by evidence combined with wellness practices that restore balance and dignity. They provide transportation anywhere in Arkansas, and with most insurance plans, treatment may cost nothing out of pocket. This isn't a cold hospital environment. It's a calm, uplifting space with spa-style detox, infrared saunas, aromatherapy, massage chairs, yoga, meditation, art therapy, and room to breathe. And structured fitness programs work alongside proven clinical treatment to rebuild strength and clarity. If today feels like the right time for you or someone you care about, take the first step. Visit PeakStateRecovery.com or call 501-881-2087. Peak State Recovery.
You choose, you win, and the crowd goes wild. The 2026 Bud Light $10,000 Bracket Challenge is your chance to win a 50-inch TV. Submit a perfect bracket and you'll win $10,000. Pick 60 games correctly, win $1,000. Registration is now open at 1037thebuzz.com. It's the Bud Light $10,000 Bracket Challenge from 1037 The Buzz.
Out of Bounds on 1037 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios. Online at TruService.net.
9-7. Bust a bus. Hot sh. Check it out. Hit you with no delaying, so what you saying, yo? Silly with your ice, grilly with the dilly, yo. When I be on the mic, yes, I do my duty, yo. While up in the club like we while in the studio. You know when to violate, baby, really and truly, yo. My main thug, Bill and Julio, he moody, yo. Type of brother that'll slap you with the tulio. Real shook, scared to death, act fruity, yo. X that, looking shorty, she a little cutie, yo. The way she shake it make me want to get all in the booty.
All right, back at it, wrapping up our first hour. Glad you're with us. Wes Moore, Joe Franklin. It's Out of Bounds. We can take a phone call, check the Middleton Heat and Air text line, live fan feedback, get you guys involved. Ben says to give people a rest, I would have told him to get on the defensive side. Don't go past half court. Don't go play offense. Has anyone noticed that once Billy Richmond gets 20 points, his touches just suddenly become non-existent, even when he is wide open? Not a hater, just an observation. I did notice against, what was it, I guess Texas A&M. But then Acuff got hot. And Acuff and also Malik Thomas got hot. And so Billy's touches did go down. Because I was like, man, forget 20. We may be on the 30-point watch. Christian and I were discussing that, watching the game at Walk-Ons. I don't know if he shot another ball. But, it comes with, team on offense. You share the ball. And when Acuff gets hot, you let the other guy get it.
They did comment on the broadcast how he's had a string of games and he's put some nice games together, some good things on film where he is scoring more. And not just that he brings all these intangibles to the game, which that's something that scouts are loving, but the fact that now he is scoring, that's just going to open eyes even more.
Mm-hmm. He had 22 points, 9 of 17 from the floor, missed both his threes. 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Boy, the free throws were god-awful the other night. They were, I think, at one point in the second half, I think Arkansas was 1 for 6 maybe, or 1 for 5. They hit their last 2 free throws. Maybe it was 1 for 11. I can't remember. It was terrible. They were 8 of 17 from the free throw line in the second half. 8 of 17. Missed 11 free throws. Yeah. If you make all 11, then you only lose by 23. DJ Wagner and Billy Richmond were the only two guys to shoot 50% from the floor. DJ, 4 for 8, hit 3 of 4 from the three-point line. That was one of my other encouraging things from the game. If DJ can rediscover his three-point shooting stroke, that could be big for Arkansas down the stretch. He finished with 12 points. Let's go to Savage. Hey, Savage, what's up?
What's up, Wes? Wes, with 20-something games in, you think the Razerbacks would know who they are at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And Coach Cal says a lot of times whenever we lose, he doesn't know which team that went out on the floor. That's not the team he's coaching. But are we digressing, on these road games, or it's just situational that the other teams are they're just that much better? We're not a good road team. Which one is it?
Yeah, I think it's just Florida's a much better team than Arkansas, and I think that's what impacted both Acuff and.
I appreciate it, Wes. Let me get off
you bet. And Malik Thomas. I don't think they were used to having those kind of shot blockers, that kind of size at the rim, and it impacted their layups. And you look back, they both missed a lot of layups. The entire team missed a lot of layups. They were less than 50% on layups. That's hard to do, but that's the Florida length. And it wasn't just your normal-looking layups that they were just going up and missing. They were tough layups. They were making it tough on themselves, and that was one of the things that Joe was saying. You got to attack. You got to be aggressive and go at them. You got a better chance of drawing a foul. You may miss the shot. You may get some block, but when you're going in and throwing up these wild circus shots, you're not making them.
When you have easy shots, if you're missing a lot of them and missing half of them, you're not going to have a good chance to win a game because it's already difficult enough shooting the ball, and when you have ones that are close and at the rim, you have to make those at a high percentage.
Yeah, for Arkansas to have any chance against Florida, they got to shoot the ball well because Florida's going to score. And Arkansas didn't shoot the ball well at layups, three-pointers, or free throws. All right, coming up next, Steel Eaves will join us thanks to Stephen Elmore Shelter Insurance. And at 3:30, Bobby Swafford's going to join us from the AAA. Regional tournaments get underway this week. Regionals are done. The state tournament gets underway this week. And state championship games next weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
It's never too late to become better. The Arkansas Senior Olympics, presented by UAMS, invites men and women aged 40 and older to compete in the 3-on-3 half-court basketball tournament April 25th in Benton. This event qualifies teams for the 2027 National Games in Tulsa. The deadline to register is April 11th. Team fee is $250 for up to 10 players or 9 players and a coach. Volunteers and sponsors are also needed. Learn more and register at arseniorolympics.org.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, Wildcats!
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
See Shelter Agent Lawrence Forrester in Cabot, Steve Fisher in Stuttgart, or Kyle Stone in Pine Bluff today.
Saturday at Oaklan Hot Springs, the running of the $400,000 Azeri Stakes. 103.7 The Buzz will be there Friday with a preview of that and the weekend of great live racing. Morning Mayhem starts the day at 6, then get the zone at 10. The Buzz at Oaklan Friday.
World champion of what?
103.7 The Buzz, your world champions of sports radio.
Don't get me wrong.
KABZ Little Rock. Buzz News with KARK's Gary Burton Jr.
A former janitor accused of sexually assaulting students will be in court this morning. Harold Butchart was arrested last October. He was the janitor at Biometa Elementary School, where he was accused of assaulting and harassing young girls. He was terminated by the school board days after his arrest. But tensions between the board and the community have been high, with parents saying they mishandled the situation. Butchart's hearing is set for 9 a.m. and a suspect is in custody following a shooting in Independence County. The sheriff's office says a man was shot at a house on Lindsay Circle a little before 1:30 on Sunday afternoon. There are few details at the moment, but officials say the victim was taken to the hospital for treatment. A suspect was later arrested, but the investigation is ongoing. The sheriff's office says this was an isolated shooting and there is no threat to the public. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm KARK's Gary Burton Jr.
Stick around after each Razorback basketball game for the Bet Saracen Basketball Postgame Show with Wes Moore and Christian Weaver, live from Walk-Ons in Little Rock. Bet Saracen is the leader in sports betting in Arkansas. Make sure you have your Bet Saracen app downloaded to your mobile device. Get the best sports betting app in Arkansas and start winning today.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Pat Walker.
There's a slight chance of showers this morning. Otherwise, this afternoon, mostly cloudy with a high temperature of 72 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy and mild, only a low of 54. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, kind of windy and warmer. Here in Little Rock, it'll warm to 78. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Pat Walker.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please, turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Hi, I'm Trey Reed from the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, inviting you to join me every Wednesday morning for the latest news from the great outdoors. It's brought to you by Arts Marine in North Little Rock, now under new ownership, but with the same familiar faces and incredible service you've known for years, plus the area's best selection of boating parts and supplies.
Arkansas is worth protecting. This is Secretary of State Cole Jester, Republican candidate for Arkansas Land Commissioner. As a constitutional lawyer and a strong conservative, I've fought to stop foreign countries like China from buying our farmland and made it easier to do business in Arkansas by cutting business filing times by 90%. That has earned the trust of leaders like Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Arkansas needs a land commissioner who will protect our state from foreign influence and defend our freedom and way of life. That's why I'm voting for Cole Jester for land commissioner. Cole Jester helped me win the fight to kick communist China off of our farmland and to ban men from women's sports. And as our Secretary of State, he helped make Arkansas #1 in the country for election integrity. Please join me in voting for a great conservative, Cole Jester, for land commissioner.
As land commissioner, I will put Arkansas families first. I'm Cole Jester, and I would be honored to have your vote on March 3rd.
Paid for by Cole for Commissioner.
U.S. Truck Accessories, your #1 Central Arkansas source for truck accessories, specializing in camper shells, bed covers, spray-in bed liners, trailer hitches, steps, grill guards, bumpers, lift kits, and much more. With professional installation on all products they offer. Locations in Conway and Searcy. U.S. Truck Accessories offers their customers twice the service. Locally owned and operated by a military veteran since 2002. Visit in-store, online. U.S. Truck Accessories. Work hard, play hard.
If there's anything green in your yard right now, it's probably a weed, and you need to do something about it. Weed control and fertilization service from Sanders Ground Essentials is easier and less expensive than doing nothing or even trying to do it yourself. 315-9395 or go online at sandersground.com. Let's get growing.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
DQ presents the Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ soft serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into soft serve. Plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Talk about stepping up. It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz.
Hour number 3, final hour of Out of Bounds. Glad you're with us. Going to be a very busy hour. We got Steel Eaves coming up here in just a few minutes, thanks to Stephen Elmore Shelter Insurance. Bobby Swafford from the AAA will join us to discuss the state basketball tournament. Also coming up, we've got What's Trending. Let's get straight to it. Let's bring in Steel Eaves right now. He joins us on the D3 Auto Sales Hotline. What's up, Steel? How are you?
Hey, man. How you doing?
Good. Hey, did you get the flu, the strep throat? Were you part of this sickness?
Well, I didn't really get either one, but both my roommates had it. So I think they both had the flu and strep at the same time.
Good Lord. What's that say about your personal hygiene? You must be washing your hands.
No, I mean, yeah, it's a bunch of washing the hands, a bunch of showers, but, also when you get home, you just go straight to your room. You don't really go talk to those guys when they're all sick like that,
Well, the Vulture came back and got him another win this week. You're 3 for 3, 3 weeks, 3 wins.
Yes, sir. That's kind of crazy, actually. I don't know how that keeps happening, but I wouldn't say I'm really mad about it.
Still, just going one inning, were you going to be available for other games?
Yes, sir. I don't know if I'll throw in the midweek this week, but I'll definitely be ready for this weekend.
Yeah, were you happy for the walk-off and go ahead and call it a day, or were you wanting to go pitch some more?
Well, I wanted to go back out, but after that inning, we were actually going to go with a freshman arm, Joey Lorenzini. He was finally going to get his chance. It's actually the second time it's happened that he's got up hot in the pen, and we hit a walk-off and he couldn't throw.
What'd you think of the series as a whole and just the weekend to kind of wrap everything up?
I think UTA, man, they're competitive, had really good ABs, and I think after that first day, kind of lit a fire under us, offensively, and on the pitching staff too. But just coming out to the field and having more energy. I think coming out of the sickness, you could definitely tell the energy was up in the dugout and everything. But yeah, I think we made pretty big strides this week, and it's going to be good for us for the rest of the year.
Still, we had Matt Jones on from WholeHogSports.com and the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette earlier today, and he felt like the flu, the strep throat, that it zapped y'all's energy. He said he really felt like that was something to do with the 2A state games and maybe even Friday against UT Arlington. And he seemed like he felt like the dugout had more life Saturday and Sunday. Is he on to something there?
100% he's on to something. I mean, not only does everybody that was sick or had people around him that were sick are going to be low energy, but also just there wasn't as many bodies in the dugout. I mean, you take out 8-10 guys from being sick, I mean, it's not going to be as loud. It's not going to be as, hyper in the dugout. And definitely having that energy, baseball is a very momentum-based game, and having your guys behind you cheering and everything, it definitely makes a difference.
How many guys were sick?
The exact number, but I think probably about 10.
Wow.
10 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, Steele, I got a question for you. Well, would you rather have, because I was giving you a hard time about the Vulture and getting 3 wins, would you rather have a win or a save?
I'd rather have the save, to be honest. That kind of means you came in a high leverage spot, you got the job done, but also, you want your starting pitchers to get those wins. Like the Texas Tech game, Fisher got the no decision on that, but he had a quality start. He should be 3-0 right now, but it happens.
What do you think of the middle of the order and that first game when you have Koziel, Loy, Robinette, and just the way those guys are hitting the ball?
They're hitting the ball crazy, and it was like that last year. I mean, those guys were a really big part of the team last year, and they kind of you scored a lot of runs for us. But also in the fall and the spring, man, going against those guys every day, you can see how those guys really are, and they're showing it now.
Yeah, I feel like Mike Anu is turning the corner. He had some good at bats over the weekend, and I think we all know what kind of hitter he is. I think he's kind of broken out of his little funk. You see that?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think a lot of guys this week got out of their little slump. Brumball's last game, Mike had a really good weekend. And I definitely think they're going to take that momentum and, use it in a good way and keep on going the rest of the season like this. There's going to be up and downs for everybody throughout the whole year. But, those guys, they're tough, especially Micah, man. He grinds it out, puts more work in than a lot of other people I know. He's dedicated. So to see him go out there and, make strides and improvements is really good to see.
Still Eaves with us on the the D3 Auto Sales text hotline. Hey, playing A-State or in the midweek, what do you think of their team? And you know a lot of the guys, I'm sure, growing up in Lone Oak. You played against some of the guys that play for Arkansas State. But just what were your thoughts on this A-State team?
Yeah, I think that A-State team was really, really gritty, man. They come out there, they're not scared of all the fans. And right from the jump, they're out there swinging, they're out there pitching really good. And it didn't seem like they were backing down from anything. And, they got us going in the first game. And then, second game we had to come back and lock in. But, yeah, I thought their ABs were really good. Two-strike hitting was really good. That's something that we talked about as a staff. Just when you get 2 strikes, you can't really mess around with them because we saw what happened the first day. A lot of those extra base hits and, hits that got us in trouble were in advantage counts as a pitcher. So it kind of also helped us, later in the season. When we get a guy with 2 strikes, we got to finish him off.
Are you able to bring that same kind of juice to the mound that you had midweek against A-State. You come in a high leverage situation, and then you come in this weekend and what was it, like 10-1? Are you good enough to where you can have that same aggressive mentality, that approach, that juice?
Well, a big thing that, our coaches talk about is if you treat every single game or every single outing the same, the moment's never going to get too big. So you treat every single outing the same. You're trying to go fill up the zone, be competitive, throw your stuff, and really enjoy your teammates. And if you take that same mentality to everything you do, then you're really not ever going to get sped up or, be nervous.
Got Still Eaves with us, thanks to Stephen Elmore, Shelter Insurance. What's working for you right now?
The heater and the curveball, that's been my two best pitches. And when one's slacking, I can kind of pick up some slack with the other pitch. But my cutter's coming along, so is my changeup. But being able to locate the heater and the curveball is really big for me right now.
What are you working on, those other two pitches? What are you trying to accomplish?
My cutter, I'm just trying to get the velo up, honestly, get it closer. Further apart from my curveball speed, but also closer to my heater speed. Because, I'm after the sinker. So if I have something similar in speed or maybe a little slower that goes the opposite way, it can be really effective, and especially against left-handed hitting.
What's holding you back? What's the issue?
Do what?
What is it? What can you pinpoint why you're not being able to do what you want to do with it?
No, I don't think I'm really in any trouble right now. It's just, everything's a work in progress. Every day you're not going to have your best stuff, obviously. Probably in a season, maybe 3 or 4 games, you feel 100% or all your pitches are working. And you really got to go out there when you're stuck. Like, not everything's working. You got to go out there and figure out a way to get the job done. And that's something that Coach Hobbs, and Coach Dave Van Horn, they've really tried to instill within us is you got to go out there and get the job done no matter how you feel.
Who do you think's got the nastiest stuff on the staff? Who's somebody you like to
nastiest
sit? Yeah,
stuff?
And you'll just sit and watch them throw.
Oof. Mark Brissy's changeup is really, really gross, and Hunter Dietz's curveball. But a full pitcher, I would say Gackle and Gibbler probably have the nastiest stuff.
All right, go by pitch. Who has the best pitch on the staff with every different pitch?
The best pitch on the staff? Oh, buddy, you're gonna get me in trouble. Curveball has to be Hunter Dietz, or James Kramer. He throws a really nasty break, off-speed stuff. Changeup, Mark Brissy. Also, Colin Fisher and Gibbler, they all have really good changeups. I think Fish used his a lot in that 8-inning game where he only gave up 1 hit. I think he used that changeup quite a lot. Fastball, pretty much everybody has pretty good heater. And cutter, you got to be either Cooper Dossett or Parker Coyle.
We got Still Eaves with us. You know what? You got a lot of good arms. We were talking about that earlier. There are guys that are waiting, like you said, just for their opportunity to pitch. And because the starters have been good, only used 3 relievers this weekend for the second straight weekend. And you got guys that we were talking about, like Jackson Kircher. The guy, it's hard for him to get in the game.
Yes, sir. When your starters are doing this good early on, you still have to build them up for the pitch count and everything. So when our starters are in the 7th inning and they've only thrown 80 pitches, you got to run them back out. And that's just how it is. You got to have those guys ready for SEC play, and you got to have those guys ready to go deep into ball games. So, and their pitch is so good right now, they're just not leaving many innings open for relievers. So guys like, James Kramer, McIlvain, Tate McGuire, guys like that, Kircher, like you said, those guys, man, they want to throw, but, there's just not any innings right now.
Do you feel like y'all are ready for SEC play, or do you need one more weekend?
I think we're going to show up no matter what. I think we're ready, man. I have full faith in this team. I think we get after it.
Man, we appreciate it, Steele. Hey, another good week, and we'll talk to you next week. Go get you go.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Go swoop in and be like a vulture. Get you another win this week.
Yes, sir. I hope so.
All right, man. Take care. Steel Eaves
right,
with
see ya.
us. Thanks to Stephen Elmore Shelter Insurance. I mean, can't jinx the guy, but heck, through 4 appearances, he's 3-0, 8 innings pitched, no earned runs given up, 3 hits, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts.
Getting it done.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all you can ask for. I mean, only thing that would be better is 4 wins and 4 appearances. So he has a pretty good percentage going there in getting those 3 wins. And like, we talked about, it's important to get wins, but also come in and get some saves. So, I mean, he's doing his job across the board.
Yeah, you wouldn't want him to get a win in his last appearance. I guess that's the first time he's appeared and not gotten a win. He came in the game, it was 10-1. And then he got 3 outs, 3 up, 3 down, and Arkansas scored the run in the bottom of the inning, walked it off 11-1. So
yeah, ended the game early.
Yeah.
That's how you want to do it on a Sunday also.
Yeah.
So you can get out of there early, get some extra rest.
It's such a luxury for Arkansas to have just a starting pitching just week after week after week on a Sunday from Colin Fisher. Usually Sundays in the SEC, they're wild affairs because teams don't have a quality third starter, and by then the bullpen's been taxed, and you've probably used your best arms on Friday and Saturday out of the bullpen, and you may be recycling them, and guys coming back in for a second time and don't have the same kind of stuff. And that's when you see these double-digit games on Sundays in the SEC. Arkansas has been turning the ball over to Colin Fisher, and that dude's just putting up zeros. I mean, 3 starts, and he has a 0 ERA. There are 1, 2, let's see, DeCreamer still has a 0 ERA, 5 2/3. McIlvain, 4 2/3, 0 ERA. Brissy, who he was just talking about, 4 innings pitched, 0 ERA. And Luke Cornelison. I don't know if I've heard his name. Anyway, he's appeared twice, 2 innings, no ERA. So there are 6 guys on the team with a 0.0 ERA. By the way, for a staff, their ERA is 2.83. That's phenomenal. And you think about it, they've had a stinker, against Arkansas State, and had the high-scoring game against what was that? I guess Texas Tech, or late in the game, Texas Tech scored some runs. But for the most part, you throw out a couple of games, this pitch staff's been awesome, really good. Excuse me. We'll take a break. When we come back, Bobby Swafford is going to join us. Talk a little high school basketball with him. State tournament getting underway this week. Regionals are in the books. Finish that up Saturday. So now we got state tournament time. Then next Thursday, a week from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the state championship games down in Hot Springs. Buzz will be carrying those games for you. Buzz or Buzz 2, depending on the other programming. We're getting ready for 12 state championship games. But first, we got to get to the state tournament, and we'll talk about that when we come back. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Ortho Arkansas presents Razorback infielder Cam Kojal each week when he joins Morning Mayhem this baseball season. Ortho Arkansas, orthopedic care for everyday pain and injuries.
This is Sports Center.
2 things happened on Sunday in the NBA that hadn't happened since January 31st. The Chicago Bulls won a game, and the San Antonio Spurs lost one. Josh Giddey had 20 points, 14 rebounds, and 10 assists for his 8th triple-double this season, and the Bulls used a 27-0 run to stop an 11-game losing streak by beating the Milwaukee Bucks 120-97. Former Razorback and Little Rock All-Star Bobby Portis had 18 points and 5 rebounds for the Bucks. On the flip side, the Spurs saw their 11-game winning streak end thanks to a 114-89 loss to the New York Knicks. Michael Bridges led the Knicks with 25 points. Jalen Brunson had 24. Victor Wembanyama led the Spurs with 25 points and 13 boards. I'm Todd Pierce for the Buzz Radio Network.
Scotty Thurman joins Morning Mayhem each week courtesy of the Wooded Rock Athletic Club. The Wooded Rock Athletic Club with indoor pickleball facilities. Join now and save 30% off joining fees. People will witness the fitness.
Oaklan is here for when you want non-stop racing and non-stop action. The season's back, the weekends are packed, and it's time to plan your visit. The classic racing season kicks off January 30th and runs through May 2nd with exciting weekends, great food and drinks, and the kind of atmosphere you can only find in Hot Springs. It's fast, it's lively, it's time to win. Oaklan Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When the unthinkable happens to your home or business, whether it's damage from smoke, water, fire, or mold, let Rainbow Restoration make you whole again. Their extensively trained team, state-of-the-art equipment, and 24/7 rapid response will help get your life back on track fast. Because this isn't just their service area, it's their home. When you need them, find them at ArkansasRestorationExperts.com. Rainbow Restoration. Where they restore, you recover. Services performed by an independently owned and operated franchise.
On these acres, weekends aren't a break. Fix this, move that, make it right. But when the ground fights back, the John Deere 4044M leans in. Because it's built like the people who run it. Tough enough to stay one more hour. Strong enough to finish the job. Test drive your next workhorse at Greenway. Learn more at gogreenway.com.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter agents Jay Vandover, Steve Ferguson, or Alex Blake in Little Rock today.
We're keeping Arkansas beautiful. Want to lend a hand? Don't be afraid to get them dirty. Every day, volunteers around the state are picking up litter, planting trees and wildflowers, recycling, and more. You know what these volunteers need most? Help. Volunteer today at keeparkansasbeautiful.com. Learn more about all our programs. A message brought to you by the Keep Arkansas Beautiful Commission, this station, and the Arkansas Broadcasters Association.
Out of bounds on 103.7 The Buzz, live from the TruService Credit Union Studios. Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz.
This is #1 champion sound. Yeah, Estelle, we about to get down. Who the hottest in the world right now? Just touched down in London town. Bet they give me a pound. Tell them put the money in my hand right now. Set up a motor, we need more seats. We just sold out all the floor seats.
Take me on a trip, I'd like to go someday. Take me to New York, I'd love to see LA. I really want to come pick you with you. You'll be my American boy. He said, hey sister, it's really, really nice to meet ya. I just met this 5'7" guy who's just my type. Like the way he's speaking, his confidence is peaking. Don't like his baggy jeans, but I'ma like what's underneath it. And no, I ain't been to MIA. I heard the Cali never rains and New York's wide awake. First let's see the West End, I'll show you to my brethren. I'm liking this American boy, American boy. Take me on a trip.
Back at it, glad you're with us. Out of Bounds, Wes Moore, Joe Franklin. We got Bobby Swafford with us, getting ready for the state basketball tournament. We're talking some hoops during the break. It got me excited, man.
It's already here. It's hard to believe.
How did regionals go?
It went really well. 16 regionals, all different sites across the state went really, really well. Basketball is so beloved in the state. And what's great about the smaller schools, the smaller classifications, a lot of those schools don't play football. We've got over 100 basketball schools that don't play football. So, wow. I mean, this is their time of the year. Their community shows out. Attendance was great all across the area. Of course, we streamed every game. All through the regionals. We're going to have 400-plus games in the postseason streamed for free across the state. really, really good start to the AAA postseason.
What schools really help themselves in regionals to be able to get a place in state?
Yeah, regional is all about seeding for that 4A through 1A. And so if you can get a regional championship, go through that weekend undefeated, you're going to be a 1 seed. That's going to put yourself in the best position. Immediately coming to mind, Quitman is going to be in there. The Poen girls are hosting the state tournament. They're going to be the 1 seed at 3A. The Dover girls are still undefeated. A lot of people thought they were going to fall off after losing in the championship game last year. Lost a couple really good players who are playing in college now at the Division II level, but they're still rolling and beat a good Episcopal team in the regional championship. So I think there's some teams that are right there, and then you can't win a state championship in a regional, but you can still really put yourself in a tough spot if you lose it and get a bad draw in the state.
Who was the 1 seed that lost to the 4 seed, and now it was the boys team up north?
Yeah, there was 5 or 6 4 seeds that got beat. Yeah, it always happens every year. Coaches will always tell you, small school coaches will say their first round of regional is the most stressed you'll ever be all season long, because that means you could have a really, really good year and 1 game and you're done. And I think we had 4 girls and 2 boys teams as a 4 seed pull the upset of 1s.
That's a punch in the gut right there. No,
Yeah.
I was watching a 1-4 game, and you could just see that and then they went on a little 9-0 run. It was everyone just relaxed and just played ball, and then they were fine. But you can imagine if they don't go on that 9-0 run.
That's right.
And it just that pressure builds and builds and builds.
Yeah, the pressure gets to you not only as a coach, we're talking about the players, they start to feel that stress, but also sometimes conferences are better than other conferences. You and I have seen that a bunch of times. Joe, you've watched it 1,000 times. And so you may get a conference that's really, really good versus a conference that may be a little down or a little weaker, and you'll see a 4 win by 20+. And we saw that a couple times this year as well.
State tournaments begin tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Get ready.
So, you got some of the 1 seeds playing on Tuesday, some of them playing on Wednesday?
Yeah, so the 1 seeds are probably done until at least Thursday, at least at the big school level, at 6A, because they've got to bye. Farmington, the 1 seed, they're playing tomorrow, first games at their place. They're hosting a 5A tournament, because really the way it works, you start at the top of the bracket and you work your way down. So if you're the 1 seed on the top half of the bracket, you're playing pretty early in the week. Then you got a couple days off in between maybe that quarterfinal matchup.
How do the brackets work? As far as which region goes on what top of the bracket, or I guess for 6A it's for the big schools.
Yes, 6A it's pretty easy. Just whatever the West this year, the Central will be next year. For the other schools, it's just complete rotation. You take the conferences and you rotate who you're going to play. So this year, maybe I do have it in front of me, so I can tell you. So the 5A bracket, the West number 1 is the very top seed at the very top of the bracket. Next year, it may be the Central. The following year, maybe the East. So on a 4-year cycle, you're going to have the opportunity to have that very top line. And so it kind of balances out. Of course, home court advantage doesn't matter a whole lot in the state tournament. And so it's just whoever's on top of the bracket is going to be the home team. It really matters, what color jersey you're wearing, to be quite honest.
People ask all the time, how do you determine, or the AAA determine, who gets to host a regional or a state tournament?
Yeah, so the schools get the bid on it. And so every school in the state has the chance to host if they want to, because we aren't like other states where we forced schools to bid where they're not going to be in an advantageous spot or put it out to neutral sites, maybe a college or things like that. We let our schools have ownership of the state tournament, and there are multiple bids. Our 20-person board of directors would get together and vote on it. And where that would go, and we look at things where it was in the past, geography where it was in the past, and things like that, because we really try to make it even. So, like, say if a state tournament is in Northeast Arkansas one year, it's not going to be back in Northeast Arkansas next year. Try to make it balanced. And people will always complain, why are you playing at Stance or at Poen? Why are you playing at these places? Well, they bid on it, and it's also a chance for different parts of the state to see different classifications. 5A's been all over the place. It's been Northwest Arkansas, Northeast Arkansas, South Arkansas. And so we love to see that moving around the state, because that gives the average person, a lot of people are thinking about themselves, of course.
Sure.
But we're thinking about big picture. Hey, if you live in Jonesboro, it's not fair for you to drive 5 hours 5 or 6 years in a row. You should have a chance to have it close to you every now and then, so it takes a little bit of burden, not off of you, the fan, but also the teams who are traveling.
What about state championships? Is that a year-by-year bid, or can that be a contract that's out for a couple of years?
Yeah, we've been in Hot Springs for quite some time for the basketball championships, and I think we're locked in there for at least 5 or 6 more on the current contract. And our partnership with the Hot Springs has been so good. It's centrally located. Now that the bypass is essentially done down the Hot Springs from Little Rock, it's really easy to get to from the majority of the state. It's just it's a great venue. I mean, volleyball, cheer, Basketball is there. Baseball, softball, soccer's moving to Hot Springs this spring. So honestly, it's a great situation that the venues are perfect size for our championships.
How long have we been in Hot Springs?
That's a good question. As long as I've been calling the games for Arkansas TV/PBS, so 2018 or 2017 when I started doing that. It was several years before that. I'm thinking maybe early 2010s.
I have no idea. I was thinking in my mind 2015. We're over a decade now down there. I was trying to think when we were at, I guess, North Little Rock. Was that the last place to host it before?
Oh, no, well, there was one year they had to be hosted at Barton Coliseum because I believe it was the Sun Belt Conference Championship tournament was in Hot Springs. And so we had to move this was before I got to the AAA. I had to go to Barton Coliseum for a year of state championships. Of course, was it Alltel back then when it was hosted here in North Little Rock? Things don't line up. They may not necessarily want it. The cost may not necessarily work for everybody. And so, Hot Springs is a great spot. Yeah. There's a couple games that we probably need a little bit bigger venue, but for the most part, even for the small schools, doesn't feel like it's too big.
No.
And that's the most important part.
No, I was down there for the volleyball.
Yeah.
And I thought it was awesome. Volleyball, it's not going to sell it out, but it was still a great environment because of the closeness, I guess, of being on top of the court. It is. It's a really good environment. Where are the locations? Where are all the state tournaments?
6A is at Bryant, 5A is at Farmington, 4A is at Morrilton, 3A Northeast at Osceola, 2A is at Poen, and 1A is in Stamps at Lafayette County.
You've been over there plenty of times to just remember it like that.
Yeah, that's right. I had to fill out a lot of brackets this weekend with the regionals and the final seeds from the regular season. I've got it memorized.
When will the brackets be finalized, the championship games? I guess Saturday night?
Yeah, so the semifinals are at noon and 1:30 for the first session, and then 6 and 7:30. So we'll know the championship matchups around 8 o'clock for the girls and call it 10 o'clock for the boys.
Okay.
Saturday night.
I got a question for you on the Middleton Heat and Air text line. What kind of feedback are you hearing or receiving about the mandated shot clocks in Arkansas high school basketball?
Love it. I would say 95 to maybe 99% of coaches and fans understand that a shot clock makes basketball better. Nobody wants to go to a game and watch a team take the air out of the basketball. We saw it 5, 6, 7 years ago. These guys are in the NBA now when Isaiah Joe and Jalen Williams were at Fort Smith Northside, and I believe it was Little Rock Central, just held the ball. I mean, it was like a 30-28 type game, and they held the ball and limited the number of possessions. But that's not fun to watch. I mean, it's a great strategy. It's not fun to watch. And there's a lot of states around us, Oklahoma included, haven't adopted a shot clock. It's a very different game. It's not as nearly as exciting. It's not as much fun for the players out there. I would highly recommend those states who haven't added it already to go ahead and do it. And it's very few that don't have a shot clock that's mandated.
I think Texas
How
is
long
one.
is it?
Yeah.
Or is
35
it already
seconds. Yeah, 35 seconds. And it doesn't reset to 20 like it does in college. You get an offensive rebound, you get a fresh 35.
I don't know how many games I've seen this year, maybe 20 or 30. But the shot clock doesn't come into play
Never.
too often.
It doesn't. You're exactly
teams
right.
are going anyway, but it does. It creates a much better brand of basketball. And if anything, it just prevents that from happening.
And we don't throw the rules out there like, hey, you got to use a shot clock. It was school pushed. The schools wanted the shot clock when it was introduced a handful of years ago in Arkansas, and we've got nothing but great feedback. The only downside at the very beginning is the cost. Of course, obviously, shot clocks aren't free, and then you've got to pay somebody to run the shot clock every game. But I think the schools will trade the cost for the atmosphere and the excitement that it brings.
How do we watch these state tournaments?
At AAAscoreboard.com. It's pretty simple. One website's going to have all 6 games going on at the exact same time. So AAAscoreboard.com, first game all the way through the semifinals, one place for free. Still the only state in the country that does that.
That is awesome. Are those games later on YouTube?
Yeah, some of them are. We partner with 5 different companies to make it possible because it's not the AAA streaming these games. We partner with a lot of different people, so it's going to be a lot of them are going to be on YouTube. And even on AAAscoreboard.com, you can click that little YouTube link in the bottom of the corner, their YouTube logo, and it'll take you straight to that YouTube page as well. So there's a lot of different ways to watch it, and all we care is that you do watch it.
Yeah.
Of course, we'd prefer you go out there and support these student-athletes in person, but if you can't, watch it online. Last year we did more than 500,000 views. 512,000 to be exact, and does not even include the state finals.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
What if you charged $1 a game?
Yeah, we'd make some money. You're probably, but including last week with the regionals, the first year we've ever streamed all 16 regional sites. Did it for free, working with a bunch of schools. And obviously this week, we're going to have more than 400 games on AAAscoreboard.com. Again, all for free because we just want to grow the sport and celebrate our student athletes.
Now, are there broadcasters on these games?
Yeah. So there's going to be a neutral broadcast crew on every game. So we work with some partners who may actually cover that school year-round, but we've told them, hey, we want you to stream the entire tournament, but your guys can't cover their teams. So I'll take a prime example. If you're the Bryant who's hosting 6A, the Bryant crew cannot announce the Bryant game because we want it to be 100% neutral.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Makes it enjoyable for everybody that's listening at home. Who are some of the favorites? Who do you got your eye on?
Yeah, I mean, Bryant and North Little Rock on the 6A boys side. I mean, that's what you've got really circled. The 6A West is just not where they have been in the past. I mean, I think Bentonville West, Fayetteville, Springdale Harbor have a chance to win a couple games, but I really think it's going to be Bryant and North Little Rock once it gets to the championship game. The 6A girls is probably a two-horse race between Harbor and North Little Rock. Fort Smith Northside is very, very good, but their best player also blew her knee out about 3 weeks ago.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Cameron Schmidt, who's signed with the University of Tulsa, blew a knee out. I think she's trying to gut through it. They lost to Harbor by 15-plus in the last game of the regular season. Just don't know if they're going to have the depth because of you lose 15 to 18 points a game. That's going to be a tough blow. 5A boys, and I said this to Acre and the boys last week, I mean, just buckle up.
Yeah.
I mean, top to bottom, it's by far the deepest and the best tournament you're going to find. From start to finish. I mean, you obviously got Little Rock Parkview and the Andrews and Little Rock Christian. Farmington's only got one loss all season long. I mean, Maumelle is always their state championship game probably should have won the state title last year. And, oh, by the way, Benton did win the state title last year. Really, really deep field on the boys' side.
No, there are going to be some games in the state tournament that could have been, if you look at the seeding or the bracket, could have been a state championship game.
Yeah, I mean, Farmington Little Rock Christian is going to be a second-round matchup.
Wow.
I mean, it's crazy to think about that because LRCA is a 2 seed because they lost a couple games when Andrews was out with injury.
Yeah.
And Farmington, they don't have that stud player like they had a couple years ago with Taylor. But his younger brother and a couple other, they can score. They'll get up and down. I just don't know if they've got the guns to play with a future NBA player in J.J. Andrews. But it is going to be on Farmington's home floor, so that's going to be a little bit of advantage for the Cardinals.
Yeah. How about 5A girls?
5A girls, I mean, it's going to start with Farmington. I mean, what they've built there is unreal. They've got, by far, in my opinion, the best girls basketball player in the state, in Easton McCullough. She's only a sophomore, 1,500 points, averaging over 30 a game this year. But it's going to be them and Valonia and or Greene County Tech. Greene County Tech's got the big post inside. I think she's going to Ole Miss or Mississippi State, one of the schools farther east. But that's who they played in the championship game last year. It was a whole lot closer game than a lot of people thought.
Yeah.
And, Farmington's really good. They're going to be the heavy favorite no matter what, especially playing at home. But if one team's going to get them, I think it could be Greene County Tech.
What kind of season did Easton McCullough have? Because we talked about how good she was last year as a freshman.
She scored more than 50, I think, 3 times this year. Like I said, averaging well over 30. Most games she doesn't play the fourth quarter. And so it's really hard to tell how good she would be. I mean, they've won countless games by 50 and 60 points as a team. How good she's going to be and how high she goes as a college player is going to depend on how vertical she gets. If she stays at 5'7", 5'8", she's probably going to be a mid-major type player. If she gets to 6 foot, which her parents are not 6 feet, so that might be a stretch, I don't know that she can get to that SEC level as far as a size-wise, a scorer. She's as good as anybody in the country. I think she's the best player in Arkansas since Kristen Williams. That's saying a lot.
That's big. Yeah, that is saying a lot.
Yeah. 4A boys, Mills,
Little Rock Hall. Yeah.
They've had some battles already.
They did, and Mills clipped them by 10 in the regional championship game. So they're going to be opposite sides of the bracket. But I mean, the conversation starts with those two. I mean, I don't know how far you want to go down into it, but, Hall got Nashville in the first round, likely going to get Brooklyn in the second round. Shiloh Christian's a team I don't know a ton about. Boys and girls, they rolled through their region. Big wins, large margins of victory. I just don't know. I don't know how good that league is this year. I haven't been in contact with a lot of coaches up there. In Magnolia, coming from the South, Mills is going to get them in the semifinals. Talk about state championship worthy matchups. Magnolia just dominated. I think they won by 40 points in the regional final. I mean, really, really good team. You just never know. State tournament time rolls around. We've seen some crazy things happen.
4A girls?
4A girls. We flip over to the bracket. Shiloh Christian, probably the most dominant team on the top half of that bracket. You got Highland as the other 1 seed.
That was a little surprise.
Yeah.
Highland beating Forest City.
Yeah, I agreed. Forest City just didn't play well. I went to college with Karonica. Used to be Randall, now Williams, the head coach of Forest City. She was a dominant player in college. Probably surprising that they got knocked off in the conference championship, the regional championship. But Shiloh's just been dominating everybody all season long. But you got Arkadelphia, which was a surprise. They beat when I mentioned the 4 seed that beat a 1 seed by 20 plus. Arkadelphia was that team. A little surprising to see a 4 seed coming from a district, get to a conference regional championship like that. In the bottom, you got Nashville versus Mills. Mills won their district. And to see that a 1-4 matchup's a little surprising. And then PA, Forest City in the second round. That could be really entertaining too.
Yeah, the bottom half's loaded with Nashville. They've probably been number 1 all year.
Mm-hmm.
PA's been number 2 for much of the year until Joe T. I would keep an eye on Joe T. at the top half of the bracket. But then you throw in Forest City.
Yeah,
that's 3 conference winners on the bottom side of the bracket, right?
Yeah, and you look at DeQueen, who is as good as anybody, won the state championship last year. They're a 3 seed, taking on Heber, and you mentioned I said Arkadelphia. They're playing Robinson in that first round. That's probably your best first round matchup of them all.
I was impressed with Heber. I got to watch them play a couple times this year. They've got a nice squad too.
3A girls, I say it's Dover. They're undefeated. You talk with Kristen Williams, their head coach. She'll tell you that they're the worst 31-0 team in the state. Greenland's probably the favorite, to be honest. They've just dominated pretty much everybody all season long. They are going to have to go through Bergman, though, in the quarterfinals to get to Dover. The top half of that 3A bracket is probably the best on the girls' side. Bottom side, no disrespect to the rest of the field, it looks like it's Mountain Views, to be quite honest. Mm-hmm. They've been really, really good. They're the 1 seed. They beat Bergman in the regional championship game, Mountain View, you're not going to Sharpie them to the championship game, but it'd be surprising if they don't get there.
3A boys?
3A boys, probably as wide open as it gets as far as there's not a clear-cut favorite. You got Osceola, who's a 1 seed that struggled with Newport in their regional championship, but state tournament's on their home floor. And so a lot of times you got to lean that's a favorite. DeWitt's a 1 seed, Subiaco, and Riverview. There's just not any teams that really jump out. It's like, they've been a dominant team. Subiaco's a team that I think they're 26-2, 27-2. They had to go to overtime to beat a 4 seed in the first round of the regional tournament. And so, how well are they playing at the right time? Of course, because all that matters is how well are you playing right now. They're good, they're talented, but are they playing well at the right time?
2A tournament is down in
Poen. Yeah,
girls are good.
Yeah, Poen girls. Circle them, star them, whatever you want to do. The Barrett girl, her first name, I think Kennedy Barrett, believes her name. Averaging 30-plus a game, already at 1,500 points in her career as a sophomore.
Was that Coach Barrett's daughter?
Yes, the football coach, or the ex-football coach now, I guess. You got to start the conversation with them. Barton with Demaya Wilson, who set the state record with 72 points in a game. That would be a potential semifinal matchup. That'd be a lot of fun on Poen's home floor. Acorn and Quitman, the number 1 seeds on the bottom half. Kind of feel like that may be a state championship game between Poen and Barton in that quarterfinal or that semifinal, but that's why they play the game. You never know. So
may get an upset in the state championship game.
But if you want to see certified bucket getters, go watch the semifinal at noon. If it plays out that way, like we think it's going to, Poen and Barton, you're watching 2 of the players that not everybody knows their name. Demaya Wilson and Kennedy Barrett are 2 of the best in the state, without question.
We'll finish up with the 1A.
Yeah, so 1A is always the most fun to me because these are your non-football playing schools. A lot of them don't have volleyball, so this is it. I mean, this is the big time. All they get. Augusta on the girls' side is as a 1 seed, and Taylor is another. You're talking about just 2 tradition-rich, historically schools. Win championships. Taylor's girls have been unreal in softball. I think they've won 8 softball championships in a row. They were in the volleyball championships this year. Only had volleyball for 2 years. So what they're putting in the water down in South Arkansas is pretty impressive at Taylor. But it starts with Earl.
Yeah.
It's probably, I think they were in the championship game last year.
They've been playing big schools.
Yes.
And beating big
schools. You're exactly. They beat Conway. I believe they beat Harbor. They've got a roster that is impressive. We'll say that on the girls' side. On the boys' side, you look at it, Nevada, coming out of that South, whoever wins that South Conference, whether it's a Bradley or a Blevins or a Nevada, they're always going to have a chance because they're battle-tested. And they just beat up on each other all season long. So Nevada's that 1 seed at the top of the bracket. You got Clarendon from out east as a 1 seed as well. That's kind of a nice surprise to see a school like Clarendon, who hasn't had a lot of success in many sports, make a run like they have. Then on the bottom, the usual suspects. You got Earl again, who won the state championship a season ago. Good chance to get back to Hot Springs. And then Jasper, from North Central Arkansas. They thought they were going to be in the mix, and they put it on County Line pretty good in the regional. And when you beat a program like County Line that traditionally has 40-plus wins every year, pretty impressive to see Jasper get there. Again, they're going to get Earl more than likely in the semis.
Good stuff, Bobby.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
There'll be a test tomorrow.
No, the test comes next week.
That's right. That's right.
When we have to digest all this information and get ready for 12 state championship games. Bobby, thank you for coming by.
You got it.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, looking forward to it. AAAscoreboard.com.
We'll take a break. Last break of the day. We'll do what's trending when we come back. It's Out of Bounds.
Heartland Rehabilitation and Care Center in Benton proudly offers compassionate and loving care to our veterans, meeting the unique needs of every veteran who calls Heartland home. Visit heartlandrehabcenter.com.
Arkansas, stop paying full retail prices. Head to Natural State Wholesale, the warehouse, where prices and customer service can't be beat, where inventory is stocked and ready to be loaded. Find us at 2011 North 2nd Street in Cabot. Waterproof vinyl starting at just $129 a square foot. Tile deals all day, every day, for under $1 a square foot. Waterproof hardwood around $2 a square foot. Need more? Exterior pavers and stone, butcher block countertops, roofing shingles, faucets, you name it, we've got it. Natural State Wholesale, the warehouse, built to save you money.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
DQ presents the Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ soft serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into soft serve, plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary.
Experience the unmistakable difference today at D3 Auto Sales in Des Arc or West Memphis. D3 Auto Sales is your home for quality used trucks, SUVs, and cars from all top brands, specializing in unique customized lifted and leveled used trucks, including four-wheel drives. And this commitment to excellence extends to their full-service 10-bay service department as well. Also, looking to trade in or sell your vehicle? D3 Auto Sales pays top dollar for your pre-owned vehicle. D3AutoSales.com.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 501-382-9100. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 501-382-9100. That's 501-382-9100.
Did that storm knock you off track? Well, here's your second chance, man. At Low T Center, they're extending their New Year's promos to give you the new start that you need in February. If you've been feeling exhausted, maybe you've lost that sex drive, book you a free testosterone test at Centergenics and Low T Center. No risk, no commitments, just answers. You can also pick up discounted peptides and GLP-1s while you're there if need be. Look, this deal ain't going to last forever, man. Head over to lowtcenter.com or Centergenics.com and book your free TRT appointment and do it today.
Hey, it's Chuck the Promo Guy. Join me every Tuesday morning for Check-In with Chuck, brought to you by Hubbard Power Sports, Can-Am and Sea-Doo in Russellville, where you can get rates as low as 0.99% on Can-Am ATVs and side-by-sides, and huge end-of-year savings with rebates up to $3,500 plus additional in-store discounts.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union studios. TruService Credit Union. Membership has its rewards with low-rate auto loans, competitive mortgages, and one of the lowest interest rate credit cards in the nation. TruService Credit Union. Online at TruService.net.
Hi. Mustard on the beat, Debo, any rap. He a freak throw, man down, call like Amber Lambs. Tell him free, bro. Nella to the cross, he walk around like Tizo.
What's Trending in Sports is brought to you by Arkansas's own West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock Coffee, the Razerbacks, and their 1.5 million farmers around the globe. It's fall, so now it's time for your team to stock up on coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA today.
Let's get right to it. NBA, Nuggets, Thunder. Got some emotions involved in this game.
Jokic hits the deck. He doesn't like it. Gets in the face of Dort. Jalen Williams comes in, and Jokic and Jalen Williams do battle. Now the coaches come in along with some teammates to break things up. Jokic and Jalen Williams face to face right now.
Go back to the early exchange with Dort. So let's watch this ensue up the floor. Oh, yeah. Dort goes over out of his way, and this is what gets the reaction from Jokic.
It's right in the face of Dort. Jalen Williams comes in. And you see the intensity there in the eyes of Jokic. And the officials, along with the replay center, will take a long look. And you wonder, too, now Jokic, he's just trying to get Jalen Williams off of him as his arm kind of swung around. Didn't look like he threw a punch yet.
Look at his eyes. I mean, the intensity pouring off him like he is more than prepared.
So Jokic was mad. I saw the video, and I mean, it was a bad play, and he went after Dort, and Jalen was just like, hey, pick on somebody your own size. Although Jalen's really not his size. Jokic's a big dude.
I think Jalen was just trying to get him off his teammate and really just play peacemaker and break it up, but it got out of hand.
All right, now to the NFL Combine, Carson Beck.
Carson Beck time. Getting booed by Indiana fans. You
won.
You guys won. What's up? Boo a kid in a combine, huh?
Carson Beck?
Yeah.
His lower body is thicker than I thought. He is strong down there.
Oh, look at the way he weighed in. He's a big dude. Carson Beck was 6'4" and 3/4, 233 pounds.
More like a sinker / two-seam. Like it wasn't a full sinker, but it was kind of a tricky one. But man, he could really throw it on the mound.
I was texting with his offensive coordinator, Shannon Dawson, and was asking him about him. He talked about how well he connects with his teammates and really took on a leadership role there. Said he's going to kill it on the board there. Just back, we were just talking about him, watching the ball come off his hand.
It's the Nat sound, baby.
We'll wrap up. Michael Jordan, a champion again.
Michael Jordan is out of breath. That's 3 weeks in a row. 77-year history of NASCAR, Michael. This has never been done. What can you say about the domination by your team today?
It's time for change. Time for change, and the guys feel the same thing. And Tyler came in with the most pressure, I guess. Everybody expected him, or he had a chance to win 3 in a row. That's the hardest one to win, And he kept to his strategy, and man, the guys put together a great car, man. And I think Billy did an unbelievable job in calling the game, calling the race, and Tyler did a good job. He beat some good competition. I mean, when you see SVG coming back there, you get a little nervous, but I think he had him covered pretty much the whole day.
Michael, the records, the wins, the trophies, what does this all mean to you as a team owner here in this sport?
Well, I'm proud of the team that we put together. I mean, Denny, I'm pretty sure it's the same way. He feels the same way as I do. And I think a lot of credit goes to him because I think he's the mastermind behind finding Tyler and putting together, Billy Scott and all that. Look, I just put up the money. I'm just a competitor. But I think Denny's done an unbelievable job in terms of helping build this team. And I think the team has done a good job in just taking our leadership and going out and winning. That's what it's about, winning.
So we going to see you in Phoenix?
I'll be in Phoenix.
Pretty cool story.
Impressive. Yep. Big time. Tyler Reddick, he got off to a good start winning Daytona, and he won the next two.
It was a fun day today. Joe Klein coming in, Steele Eaves, Matt Jones, and then Bobby Swafford. This day flew by. Coming up tomorrow, Coach Z will join us. Turn the page. I don't want to talk about Florida anymore. Just focus on Texas and finishing the season strong. Also, we'll have Joe Thomas in. Joe is with the Little Rock Trojans. He was named the Freshman Conference Player of the Week. So we'll talk with Joe. They're on the road getting ready. Hit the road. So we'll hear from Joe and talk a little baseball, too. Hope you can join us. Have a great night, but stick around. Drive Time Sports is next.